welcome. It is unseasonably hot yet again today.
Yes, I got into trouble for wearing my shorts and my boat shoes. Eddie asked me where my boat was parked. He just walked past me, a Safa Powell in tow with him with a Collingwood scarf. He doesn't mind mixing with the best, does he, Eddie?
He's from Tom Cruise to a Safa.
And he had his game face on. Yes, he's gone from Dubai this week to a Safa, but unbelievable atmosphere around in the last hour, Tone, down here. They're expecting 90,000, the MCC told me. The Ponsford stand, always a great indicator for crowd, Tone, is about 25% full. So we're usually at 90,000 when we see people sitting up in that part of the Ponsford. A little bit of drizzle about an hour ago, but it's just a little bit overcast now, humid and really a bit sticky. So great conditions in one sense there. No changes to the selected sides. In the green vest for Collingwood, Paul Seedsman will be the sub-player. On the bench, Sam Dwyer along with Steele Sidebottom and Jordan Russell. And the sub-player, Brock McLean for the Blues. And on the bench, Cade Simpson will start with Tom Bell and Marcus Davies. And, Tony, there will be a loud roar all throughout this game. We've been looking forward to it all week.
We have indeed. Seb Costello for Europe Car, before I go back to the boys. Seb, one matter of, for Europe Car, a little statistical bit of information, please.
Well, the Rucks from Collingwood were beaten last week, 44-26 in the hitouts. You'd think Jolly and Lynch will have the upper hand today. Matthew Cruiser will do it largely by himself with the help of Levi Casbolt in just his 8th game. They were strong above the head last week, the Pies. They won contested marks 15-7, despite losing a number of statistical categories against North Melbourne. Travis Cloak, particularly strong in the air, 7 marks inside 50, 4 goals for the big man. 127, 175, 149. They're the number of games Scott Pendlebury, Dane Swan and Travis Cloak have played with Mick Malthouse as coach, and I'd love to hear from our experts whether that intimate knowledge of a player as a coach is going to give Mick an edge when he's coaching against them.
Well, I've no doubt he would have passed on some handy hints for his players, especially, I reckon, with Cloak, the defender. You'd think Jamieson will get the job on him early. But one thing Carlton did last week, when the game was getting away from them against Richmond, they started to run and link up through the middle of the ground, and they actually played better footy when they did that. When they were playing poorly, they were just going down the line. It was very predictable. So you'd think Collingwood will have a pretty good handle on how Carlton are going to play today. I'd love to see them run and try and test Collingwood out that way. I reckon Yaron's really important today with Eddie Betts out of the side. Started really well last week up forward, could have won the game for Carlton. I reckon he's got to be up forward today, Shorey.
Yeah, it's an amazing... I think that's the area, the speed across the ground. If they were to get the contested possession, I think Carlton might worry Collingwood. It's whether they can get him at the other end, though.
Yeah.
I look at their defence. I agree. I like Jamieson close to square, though. I thought Richmond did it beautifully with Jack Rewalt last week. Jack didn't kick a goal. I think he kicked one, gave a couple away, but they just went to Vickery then against Henderson.
Yeah.
If they set that up again, that'll suit Collingwood down to a 2 with Lynch and Cloak doing that. I think Jamieson should stay close to the goal. Great to see Jeremy Laidler back in.
Yeah.
Intercept mark. They need a third player to come across the line to help them because the big players at Collingwood might be the issue. Matty Cruiser, I've known Matty Cruiser for a long time, and I think it's about time that he really stood up. He's done it in games, but needs to do it more. His athleticism in the ruck might be an issue for Darren Jolly and Lynchy if they get into the ruck. So if he can give them first hands on ball, their midfield, it is a clash of the great midfields, isn't it? And Mick Malthouse does not tag. Normally does not tag. I reckon, Richo, what do you think? I think he needs to go and sit on someone.
I think you've got to put a lot of time into Pendlebury. I think he's the one. I wouldn't tag Swan.
Carazzo or Armfield, who does it?
I'd go Carazzo
so
and
would
Pendlebury. Be interesting to see how that match-up goes early. But Cloak's the man. His contested marking ability, he stands out as the match winner. I don't see a Carlton tall forward being able to get hold of Collingwood's defence, whereas Cloak could easily take 4 or 5 contested marks inside 50.
Hampson, I think, took 6 or 7 marks inside 50 last week. Eddie Betts has kicked 9 goals in the last 3 games against Collingwood. I don't know about Andrew Watt. I thought he was great across halfback last week. He might have to, and if he even starts at halfback, if things don't work in their forward line, he could push forward because he might be needed down there at some time.
Even if he starts Walker as like the 6th forward, pushes up the ground, and then he's got pace and ability to break the lines and come through, he may well play that role today.
Walker looks like he's gone forward, I would think. Is that right? No?
Yeah, I reckon he'll play for high half forward and get up the ground and then push back with it. Looking at the middle there, got Gibbs, Judd and Robinson going into the middle there. Carazzo and Lucas look like they're going to the wings. So it'll be interesting to see, sure, as we said, if Carazzo goes with Scott Pendlebury. I reckon that will be the matchup.
Jamieson the Cloak, that's no worries, that's happened. Trying to see now, McCapp has gone to full forward. Layla's got that job, and Henderson's got the job on Quinton Lynch.
Mark Murphy won the toss. Carlton will kick to the punt road end as the players break out. Final word two from you too, Shorey. I thought the move last week really worked. O'Brien playing further up the ground with the thumping long kick.
Yeah, Matty Richardson mentioned that, and he started right on the wing now. I can't pick up his... it looks like Lucas.
And as we predicted, Shorey, look who's standing next to Pendlebury. Carazzo is on him. Swan and Judd. And Robinson is on Blair in the
We're
middle.
underway. The shadow boxing up well and truly over now. The real stuff has started. First possession goes to Collingwood. Handball towards the members' wing. Clark of Collingwood over the ball. Swan a quick kick toward wing half forward. Tumbling toward the boundary line. Ball wins out. And so Collingwood into their attacking half, barely, on the member side, between wing and half forward. First quarter brought to you by Chemist Warehouse. Tony Leonard in commentary with Tim Lane today. At the back, Cruiser, the tap. Little handball, Gibbs was effective. Found Robinson, left foot kick beyond the wing. It's still close to the boundary line that time. Nice body work by Reid. Just led his man underneath the ball. And it tumbles out again. Matthew, no score yet. We've been going a minute.
Yeah, that's Reid on young Sam Rowe in his first game. Nick Maxwell is on Yaron. Yaron might be dangerous on him, Shorey, I reckon.
I think Tooby would move on to that matchup if it didn't work early.
Free kick to Cruiser at the ruck contest. Long ball into the punt road. Goal off the pack. Maxwell covered it well. Gave to Pendlebury to Swan, the old firm. Quick kick. Cruiser couldn't quite reach it, slid off his fingers to the back, picked up for Blues by Tui, but he lost control of it in a tackle. Ball still amid a pack. Carazzo out to Gibbs, over the top to the running Murphy on the left, little dab to a leading Walker, can't mark, it bounced off his chest to Johnson, who gave to Shaw, whose kick is chopped off by Gibbs. Carlton keep the pressure on. Inside to Judd. Forward to the centre. Long ball to full forward. Walker in the middle. Couldn't mark. He was swamped by the big men, and it falls to Reid.
Reid the handball in defensive 50. O'Brien receives for Collingwood. Heads straight to the wing with a long kick. I don't like it. It should be a Carlton mark, and it is. Forward they go to full forward. It's a bad kick. Casbolt was the target that time. Can't get there. A little snap around the body. That time has missed everything. And Swan in the back pocket. It's been end to end, well, sort of half forward to half forward. No score yet. 2.5 minutes for the Chemist Warehouse. Swan tries to find Sinclair on the lean and does so. Quickly round the grounds for Supreme Caravans as Collingwood goes forward.
Goal to Paul Chapman. Geelong within 8 points. Time 6 gone. Final term.
So plenty of time left. Ball on the members' wing. And Cloak had it. He was tackled.
Goldsack's got a free
kick to Goldsack, just slightly off the ball. So the Magpies will build now. Still nothing on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard apart from zeros. Long ball into the 50, no one can mark. Off the pack, Magpies ball. Side bottoms kick smothered. Ricochet gives Jolly a chance. It slipped out of his hands. He gets it back. He got it onto his boot. A quick kick forward, and it's been marked for Collingwood by Dwyer at the 50, just beyond his range. He doesn't go for home. He kicks top of the goal square. Lynch using a bit of body, but off hands it's collected by Judd, who gives it out, and Lucas skids it around half-back for the Blues.
So the race is on. 2-2 battle out there. In fact, it just, in the finish, it rolls harmlessly over. I think the Collingwood fans in the southern stand thought it might have been deliberate. Still no score. 3.5 minutes gone here. It's tight up at Etihad. Quick score, please, Shane McGuinness.
Still an 8-point lead to the Kangaroos. 101-93.
From the throw-in, Blair tried to shovel it forward. Carazzo, the backward handball, tried to get it Judge. Hand and knees Tui in there. Hard for Carlton, but it's all pressure at the moment. Ball's not coming out. Tone, another pack forms. The umpire again to break it up. Just before you do, Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Darren Jolly just ran through the interchange, very distressed, holding the left side of his chest. He's had a hit round the ribs. The Doc's about to go down and have a listen to the airbags, Tone.
So,
yeah, he was in a lot of trouble there, Tone, coming off the ground. Big Darren Jolly couldn't get any breath at all.
So he heads down, which would be a monumental swing in the game should Jolly be out. Ball still basically neutral territory, southern side wing. There's a free kick going to go Collingwood's way from the ruck infringement, Tim, and the man Lynch to take it out there is Quentin to send Collingwood well forward inside attacking 50.
Too far out even for him. He kicks to within 20 of goal. No one can mark it. Dwyer's got it at the foot of the pack. A left foot snap just missing on the near side. Magpie fans were rising out of their seats, and it's taken 4.25 minutes for the duck to be broken on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. It's a Collingwood behind, and that is the only score thus far. Notice down below us a Scottish Army. They're all in kilts, Tone, and I can imagine a predecessor of mine in this box might have had a bit of fun with Messrs McCavity.
Yes, I suspect so. From the middle, it was Carlton breaking through. Lucas goes in the row direction. The Collingwood defender, Reid, the stronger and more experienced, won the battle. The kick, though, to Shaw was beyond him, but recovers first. Shaw has a bounce. Southern side wing with two bounces. Drew a man, handball over the top. Lynch has got the ball, wants to double back. No, gives the handball off to a runner inside bottom. 75 out, half forward for Collingwood to the city end of the ground. Defensive mark, well done that time by the Blues. And Henderson yet again just stood firm, Tim. One behind. The only thing to show on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, that is in Collingwood's favour after 5.5 minutes first quarter.
And those 5.5 minutes broken up pretty much down the middle. Carlton attacked for the first half of it, and now Collingwood since, but still no goal. Casbolt's got himself to half back, kicked along the southern wing, and Sam Rowe, who's made this recovery from cancer to be making his senior debut for the Blues, has the ball on the wing. He kicks low in towards half forward, and Robinson with a strong lead takes a strong mark. Simpson's got loose, long ball searching for him. He's got the sit, but it's fisted away from him by Marty Clark, and it's Bills Tuvi's way. A little scrubber kick out to the boundary, but he'll get a free kick anyway. The footy's coming back. It's a Magpie ball last line.
How about that? Just the way that Clark was able to time the punch and not infringe in the back pocket.
Yeah, he did it really well because Simpson had actually come off the interchange bench, ran straight to the forward pocket, and Clark, great defensive effort.
Collingwood control the ball back pocket around the grounds for Supreme Caravan. Shane.
Three misses to Stephen Motlop. Geelong now within 5 points. Travis Varco about to have a shot.
So the kick found its way to halfback. Collingwood have it. The skipper, Maxwell, tumbles one towards goal sack. Members wing, can't take it. Henderson of Carlton picks it up. Handball out the back, finds Judd. But Judd and Swan certainly on early. Handball found Armfield. A scrappy old kick toward half forward. Carlton in their attacking half. It's going to be Collingwood though. Russell just allowed Marty Clark to come through. And with the dinky, I'd call it an Irish kick, Tim, found its way to side bottom. Members wing for Collingwood.
And he kicked short to a good lead, which came from Elliott. He's about 75 out. Members flank, long ball to the city end. Cloak one out. Fisted by Jamison, did well. Fisted it in the right direction, backwards to the score line. And it's another behind to Collingwood for Supreme Caravans. Shane McGuinness, how are the days of domination shaping?
They're back, Tim, they're back. A goal to Josh Caddy has Geelong in front for the first time today. They're up by a point. 15-12, 102. North Melbourne, 16-5, 101. We're midway through the final quarter.
Gee, it was a scrappy old kick in tone. Carlton is lucky to get out of that one from the Jamison kick in.
I'll tell you what's happening here. Heath Shaw's nearly the loose man in defence, but they're working a player off the bench, and he's been caught out a couple of times just ball watching, not looking behind.
Ball gets thrown in, half forward for Collingwood, 60 around from their goal, but the Blues little men from the stoppage worked it well. A little handball from Murphy, over the top found Gibbs, defensive side of the wing, southern side. Simpson for Carlton, went high, couldn't take it down. Now a little bit of panic in the Collingwood defence, but they work it out eventually as Reid found Shaw, found Maxwell, found side bottom, all at half back, little handballs up the middle of the ground. That was the kick. Now the Carlton got the big turnover. Murphy's got the ball to Garlitt, point of the square, attacking for the Blues, into the forward pockets, a beautiful pass, and Walker will just chance his arm from here, Matthew. He's 35 metres out. Sort of 60-65 degree angle, half forward right punt road end for the Blues.
Doc Larkins, you've got some dramatic news.
Well, Darren Jolly's still downstairs having that lung and ribs checked, but the Collingwood doctor came up and asked the ambulance people to come down to the medical room behind the interchange bench here, Tim, so it suggests that they may be looking at transporting Darren Jolly at this stage. I'll have to get back on further news.
That is massive news.
Yeah.
8.5 minutes first quarter. Collingwood 2 behinds, Carlton nothing, but the Blues' best chance is in the hands of Andrew Walker, and he doesn't let them down. The Blues are away. They're a goal. Collingwood 2 behinds. All on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. The home of big brands at tiny prices. Before I go to you, Tony Shaw, let's go around the ground. Supreme Caravans.
Geelong by a point, 102 to North Melbourne, 101. Billy Smets having a shot at goal as we speak, Tone. He's just missed off to the right, Geelong by 2 points.
Well, it's a case of necessity that Andrew Walker had to go forward today. It had to happen. He played really well off halfback. Very agile, mobile player, and it's good to see him finish like that. This Jolly issue could be very telling in this game.
Well, that drives their whole structure out, because that will mean Quinton Lynch will have to ruck for the rest of the day. That throws their forward line structure out of whack, and that is the worst possible news for Collingwood. Geez, Carlton have come through the middle a couple of times today with their inside 50s and opened Collingwood up early.
Cruiser against Lynch. Collingwood win it. Blair takes it away and kicks well to a good lead and a very strong mark by Goldsack. 60 metres out. Edge of the corridor, right edge. Goldsack swings the kick to within 20 of goal. Cloaked the run at it. Hit it hard. Couldn't mark. Fall of the ball. Pendlebury fooled them by going onto his right. It was tackled though and coughed it up with a hand pass to Tui, who clears to Garlitt, who's been very busy, and he's on the back side of the wing at the moment. Southern side swings it forward for Carlton, who will have the numbers at the drop. The bounce important here. Rose got it. He's tackled. He got out a little hand pass to Robinson, who works his way into the clear. Kicks long to Walker. Takes the mark. 20 out straight in front. Should be the Blues second.
Well, his work rate at the moment, Shorey, is outstanding, Walker. He's got up the ground and pushed back inside 50 twice. Now, he had Tuvey done cold then. That was a great kick by Robinson, but it was Rowe's effort actually to get the handball off to Robinson, opened that up.
I don't understand that matchup though, because Maxwell has gone to Yarran. Yarran's gone to the bench. I think Maxwell suits Walker and also Tuvey suits Yarran.
Yeah, you'd think a switch might come there pretty soon.
He's on the Michael Holding run up, went back almost to the 50 for a shot from 15. He puts it through. And Carlton have the first two to lead by 10 points on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. 2 straight goals, plays 2 behinds for Supreme Caravan. Shane, any change?
No, still 2-point lead to Geelong, Tim. They're into attack. We've still got 9 minutes to go in the final quarter.
Seb Costello, first time for me, welcoming you for Europcar, Seb.
Thanks, Tony. May have thrown out his own playbook, Mick Malthouse, but Matthew Richardson's absolutely right. The Blues using the corridor to get on top here. 350 entries through the corridor to Carlton, none to Collingwood.
Tone, just don't know, but the first 10-11 minutes, certainly not going to the form card. Carlton look well and truly on top, and it's only a 10-point lead.
Well, Collingwood's gone in just as many times. There's not a massive issue in that, but you're right, the speed in the centre of the ground, it stands out at the moment, doesn't it?
And the defence has held up well. Collingwood have driven it in deep a couple of times, but they've stood up the Carlton defence
Carlton,
early.
a nice clearance. Cruiser to Gibbs to Judd, who thumps it long in towards attack. Now Maxwell's just gone over. He's holding his sort of knee ankle. He's won a free.
And writhing in agony.
Reckon he looks all right.
Something gave way though there.
No doubt. And he's still limping. Little kick to Ben Johnson, who's on half back to the wing. The ball goes. Cruiser thumps it back over Lynch this time. Carlton with the numbers around the ball. Davies, can he pick it up on the Toyota logo wing? Gave to Judd, gave to Gibbs, gave to Cruiser all by hand. To Carazzo through the middle, drew a man. Kick was charged down. Well done that time. Then side bottom. Won it back. Big turnover. Collingwood's way to Elliott. And he's found him 48 metres out. Should go back and trust himself from this distance. He started, he stopped, and he decided to play on, go short, and he didn't trust himself. And the result, Tim kicked it straight to Tui of Carlton, and Carlton repelled the attack. It is Carlton by 10 points. 12 gone, paint away clock, first quarter.
Oh, Robinson doing very well. Marks Tui's kick in a contest. Gives to Simpson, short to Cruiser, who's been very good on the centre line. Pumping kick to the 50. Rowe the target, just too strong for him. Reid beats him to the fall of the ball. Gets a paddle to Lynch. Big cumbersome man. Got rid of it in a hurry. Ball comes loose Collingwood's way to Clark. Hand pass only straight to Cruiser, who gives to Walker from inside 50. Bumps at Goldwood. Goal unguarded. Bouncing through. Shades of Jezelenko in the 1970 grand final. And Walker has 3 in 13 minutes, and the Blues lead by 16 points.
Well, it's all corridor. They are going against what we think is Mick Malthouse's blueprint. That is boundary line play. They're coming through the corridor at every opportunity, and 3 goals to Andrew Walker. They're going to have to make a change there, Shorey.
I couldn't believe the matchup at the start of the game, and we'll just see what's happening now. Looks like Tuvey's gone to Walker. Well, that should have been happy. I don't know why they would have gone Maxwell on Yarran, but they're still sticking with Maxwell on Yarran. So that's an interesting one. Ben Johnson's right next to him. Would be the person you nearly put to him.
Tight at Eddie had for Supreme Caravans.
Yeah, and heavy rain falling here as well. So North Melbourne's just been given a 50-metre penalty. That has them within shot of goal. Geelong, though, by 2 points, 103 to 101.
So ball bounce in the middle. Play restarts. Blair wins it for Collingwood. Long kick toward full forward. Cloak third man up. At the back, Jamison knocks it away for Carlton. Roving at halfback, Armfield. Good pressure by Blair. Forced the tackle, or forced the error. Picked up by Henderson of Carlton. They've lost it. Sinclair to Blair at 50, attacking for Collingwood. It was Pendlebury round his body, but it's missing way left. In fact, it's out on the full. So it's 3 goals straight Carlton. 2 behinds Collingwood. 14 and a half minutes gone. First quarter, Chemist Warehouse scoreboard he's pouring at Etihad Stadium. Quite clear here. What was the result of the kick, Shane?
Goal to Daniel Wells. North Melbourne back in front by 4 points. 17-5-107 Geelong. 15-13-103. 7 minutes to go.
Judd clears for Carlton, and Garlitt takes a very good mark behind the centre line. Doc Larkin's rim replay showing Jolly up on the bench.
Yeah, he's just sitting down, looks very uncomfortable. Left side of his chest they've been checking, so they're just sitting him down quietly, and obviously excluded any serious lung damage. Just wonder how sore he is, Tim.
Rowe to Davies here for Carlton, scrubbing left foot kick into the 50. Bell attacked it, overran it. Picked up by O'Brien, who burst through in his no-beg-pardons way for Collingwood, and kicks to Blair, southern wing. Doc, could I ask you for your best guess, or don't doctors like to give a guess?
Oh, look, it's hard to guess from a distance away. I mean, clearly he had trouble breathing. He's distressed. He doesn't look comfortable. They're chatting to him, and I guess it's a matter of whether they feel he can take a knock. They certainly are not transporting at this stage.
Collingwood take it wide. Southern side, Cloak, who's come up to almost the wing. He kicks short, and he kicks to McCaffer, who marks it now between wing and half forward, but still a good kick and a half from home. He places the kick into the pocket. Pendlebury there and in front.
Right.
A very good mark taken by Elliott. He's a brave little fella, and he can take a mark overhead. He plays on. No, he shapes to come out. The umpire says you can't.
Take it on.
Well, there you go, Shorey. You talked about his marking ability before the game with Dane Beams. That was a great overhead mark.
Well, he likes to go from there. Been trying to pull it out of his game. I think just let him go. He's got a great leap and he's a powerful athlete.
He took one late against the Eagles here last year in a thriller home and away game, as Collingwood were protecting, I think, about a 2-point lead. He comes in, he kicks at goal. The Magpies need it, and he delivers. It's a lovely kick from the left forward pocket. It's taken them 16 and a half minutes. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Carlton leading. 3 goals disappeared from the scoreboard. Tone 3 straight to 1-2. The margin 10 points. Seb for Europcar.
The Blues are just kicking terrifically, as are Collingwood. 69% there, helped along by that goal from Elliott. But the Blues are kicking at the moment at 82%, which, considering they've had 34 kicks, is a pretty impressive percentage.
Tell you what, Richard, the longer this goes with Jolly not being on the ground, it hurts Collingwood anyway, because they've just lost a forward player target up there with now Lynch going into the ruck.
It does, and it mucks up all of the rotations. It mucks up your structure.
Got to make a decision sooner, or maybe they're waiting for a quarter time to do it.
And he's just going back down underneath again now, Tone.
So play restarts, middle of the ground, and it's starting to rain here now. Blair wins it for his second positive clearance for Collingwood. Kicks it straight to centre half forward. 2 Carlton players go up, spoil each other. Elliott of Collingwood at their feet. Still at centre half forward for the Pies. Coming through goal sack. Tackle. Loses it. Good pressure from Jamison. Little kick forward by Bell of Carlton. To the middle of the ground it goes. One-on-one battle. Ben Johnson now. The free kick's going to go his way.
That's a better matchup on Yarran.
Shane, can I just have a margin, please, late in the game up at Etihad?
North Melbourne by 4 points. 5 minutes to go.
In the middle of the ground, Blair goes again. He loses it in a tackle. Davies of Carlton picks it up, scrubbing little left foot kick. That time through the feet of Walker. Reid cleans up that time. Little sideways kick from side bottom was effective, Tim. Found its way to Clark, members wing for Collingwood.
It's old-fashioned stuff now. Grey sky, rain falling. The Magpies and the Blues
that's ball
on the MCG, and ball it is, and it's a Collingwood free kick for a tackle laid by McCaffer on Laidler, who just didn't make an attempt to get rid of it. Kick from McCaffer will be brought back, actually.
Oh, they're saying it went over. I don't think that went out.
A conference.
Oh, they are.
Out of bounds.
I think that's the thing that Laidler was worried about, taking it out on purpose, intentionally.
The ghost of Wayne Harms rises again. Doc Larkin.
Yeah, I had a clear view of that, Shorey. It was definitely over the line before they paid the free.
Carlton by 10 points, 17 into the first quarter. From the throw inside bottom back of the pack, kicks Collingwood to centre half forward. Dwyer broke the tackle, then he lost it in the Armfield tackle. Still at half forward for Collingwood. In there is Armfield, in there is Henderson, and now the ball goes out of bounds. As we go back to you, Peter Larkins, an update please on Darren Jolly.
Well, the good news was that Jolly came up for 2 minutes and sat on the bench. He looked great to me, Tone. He's gone back down with the medical staff to the medical room. So I think Jolly really struggling with that chest injury.
Collingwood at half forward, 50 around from their goal. Ball thrown in. To the city end they go. Side bottom, another touch. Kicks it quickly into the forward pocket. It skids across the turf now. Forward pocket right. Ball goes out of bounds. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, Matthew. It's Carlton 18, leading by 10 points. Collingwood 8.
Yeah, this is a great start by the Blues. Collingwood have had it in their forward half the last few minutes. Need to take advantage here on the scoreboard.
19 and a half gone. Magpies deep in attack. Bell for Carlton has it. He's tied up in a tackle.
Oh, ball.
And he's pinged for holding it.
Not making an effort.
Gee.
I tell you the other thing about Quentin Lynch is it means now the Cloak has to play close to the goal because they won't have a big target. That suits Jamison down to the ground.
Magpie starting to get on top of the clearances, Tim. The last 6 clearances, 5 of them have been Magpie clearances. Jared Blair's had 3 of them.
Pendlebury's free kick. The man on the mark is 25 metres out.
So all Henderson could have done there is just whack his arm and pretend that he was trying to get it out, and that's the difference between a free and not giving it.
Just about as good as directly in front. Pretty straightforward shot for Scott Pendlebury. He makes no mistake. And the Magpies have pulled 2 of them back. It's back to a 4-point margin. Carlton's 3 straight. Collingwood 2-2-14. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard beyond the 20-minute mark. Shane McGuinness for Supreme Caravans at the pointy end.
A Chapman snap missed, Tim, so that has North Melbourne still leading by 3 points. 107-104. The Roos with it across half forward.
Matty Richardson mentioned Collingwood's ability to get it forward. In the last 10 minutes, 72% of the game has been played in Collingwood's forward half.
4-point margin in favour of the Blues. Go, boys.
You get periods of dominance like that where you have it in your forward line. Game of momentum, Aussie rules footy. Collingwood need to make the most of it on the scoreboard now. They have the last 2 goals.
Walker with 3 goals. They are Carlton 3 goals. Elliott and Pendlebury the last 2 of the game. Both Collingwood's 4-point margin. Free kick in the ruck going Carlton's way. The cheers go up. Murphy to take the free kick. It is getting hard of the rain here at the moment as Murphy waits. Just swing it out wide, taken by Armfield. Deliberately a 20-metre pass. Swan, though, read it better than Robinson. Knocked it in front of himself. Bell of Carlton goes in there. Applies the tackle. Ball flipped in towards Murphy of Carlton. The kick in towards half forward. Reid playing in front of Rowe. Doing a good job at the moment, Ben Reid. Not much on offer. Carlton by 4 points. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Went about 5 metres to Maxwell. Maxwell gives a little one back to Reid. Points to half-back southern side. And that's exactly what the Blues do, as Russell getting a few boos. Got it off this time then to Brown. Brown got it off to Tuvey. Collingwood to half forward. It skids across the turf. And this is going to be the issue now, Tone, with this rain starting to set in. Just how well, who adapts the better. At the moment, Carlton by 4 points at the 22-minute mark, first quarter.
Well, off the top of the head, I would think it would suit Collingwood. I think Carlton look very quick and want to have a clean ball to run with it through the lines.
Throw in Collingwood's footy, looking for a goal to grab the lead here, and they're a bit of a chance. Dwyer's got it. He's tackled though, dispossessed out near the boundary. 40 from Collingwood's goal at the city end.
I reckon there's high contact. Collingwood 3.
Heavy rain, ball under a pack. It is a Magpie free kick, and within scoring range. Although the rain now is really belting down. It is teeming. Let's just check in with Shane McGuinness.
Still a 3-point ball game, Tim. Geelong flooding forward.
Keep you posted there. Couple of minutes to go. Kangaroos protecting a narrow lead. People ducking for cover at the MCG. It is a deluge. It looks like Elliott again through the driving rain on the boundary. 45 out. Very tough shot. He misses on the near side. And still the Blues lead. They kicked the first 3 goals, but Collingwood have been nibbling away at it. 3 straight plays, 2-3 after 23 minutes.
Shane, please, at Etihad.
Mark Blitzarves lining up for goal time before the kick. Geelong trails by 3 points.
Stay with you.
After the kick, Geelong trails by 2 points. We've got 1:30 to go.
From the kick in from Henderson, ball came off hands. And the result, Matthew, ball to be thrown in. Half forward left for Collingwood, 65 around from their goal city end. That's okay, Matthew. I think it's a very good point you made. As Cruiser got the tap away.
So.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tone.
That's quite all right.
I was focused on the replay of Blitzers missing over at Etihad there.
Good to know your full concentration's at the G. As the Cruiser kick goes in towards the row direction on the wing, southern side. Blair really got a high one. Blair slow to get up. Play on is called by the umpire. It's close to the boundary line on that southern wing. players are tackled. The umpire's about 25 metres off the ball at the moment, and there's 10 players over the top of it, and it's about 1 millimetre from the boundary line, and eventually the umpire comes in.
Oh, Jared Blair, gee, great bump by Walker. Good to see it's still able to do that in footy. Hit him in the shoulder.
Shame for Matthew Richardson's benefit. Ball thrown in the wing here. What's happening up at Etihad?
Ball about to be thrown in Geelong forward pocket. North Melbourne leading by 2 points. 43 seconds to go.
Collingwood coming here. Swan kicks into the 50. Doesn't hit a target immediately. Jamison beat Cloak one out. Did it well. Feeds by hand to Henderson, who keeps his kick wide. Mick would like that. It's out near the boundary. And it's gone out on the full, I reckon, off Heath Shaw's boot. Although it hasn't been called that way by the boundary umpire. Shane, what's happening?
A free kick to Jimmy Bartel and a 50-metre penalty against Nathan Grimer. This will put Geelong in front with 33 seconds on the clock.
From the restart, it was O'Brien going forward, but his kick was intercepted at halfback for Carlton by Henderson, who lead at the moment by 3 points, the Blues. Ball out on the wing, over the top. Just give us the result at any time, Shane. We'll stop the call here as Davies picks it up half-back flank. He slides one across the deck, and now it's going to be out of bounds. Murphy sees it out of bounds. What's happened at Etihad, please, Shane?
The goal to Jimmy Bartel. Geelong by 4 points. 112 to 108. 25 seconds to go.
3 straight goals, Carlton here. Collingwood 2-3-15. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, 25 minutes first quarter.
Lucas had it for Carlton. He's got it back after it slipped from his fingers. Neat little sidestep. Kick into the 50. Casbolt hitting it hard, couldn't mark. Spillage to Clark of Collingwood. Hand pass to Reid. Clearing ball. Bounces through the centre. Beat about 4 of them. Elliott soccers on. Bootsma goes with him. And laid a neat little hip to take Elliott out of the contest. The Magpies arrive in droves though. It's out near the boundary. It's knocked by Bootsma up the boundary line. Side bottom there for Collingwood. Helped it to Pendlebury. Couldn't handle it. Side bottom gets it back. He kicks into the 50. Blair arrives, takes a mark and will run into an open goal and put the Magpies in front.
And a great first quarter, Tim.
It's been a terrific quarter of football. Carlton kicked the first 3 goals. Collingwood have answered with 3 of their own, and Jared Blair, after suffering a heavy knock, has kicked the goal to give the Magpies the lead.
Shane, let's go to you. What's happening at Etihad?
North Melbourne have it across half forward. There's the siren. Geelong by 4 points in a thriller. 16-16, 112 to North Melbourne, 17-6, 108.
Collingwood by 3 points here, but the interest is with Darren Jolly, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Well, he's just come up for the second time for medical attention for that left rib injury. Ran up and down. He shook his head. He's speaking to David Butterfant, the fitness coach, as well as Peter McQueen, the doc. But Darren Jolly looks quite sore. They're going to give him some more pain relief, but he definitely got left rib troubles.
On the replay, Doc, we just saw him try to pick up a bottle of water off the ground.
He grimaced doing that, didn't he, Sorry? So he wouldn't be good chasing the ball or getting a bear hug from you.
Play restarts from here. Cruiser got a thump about 15 metres Carlton's way toward half forward. Pendlebury, the defensive handball, tried to get to Maxwell. He knocks it outside the defensive 50, but Judd's there. Got a little block that time. He's Shaw, couldn't get to him. Oh, gee, that's a free kick to Judd. Held without the ball, surely. Umpire said no. Rebounds to Shaw, who starts it, goes from half back to half forward. Clash of players there. Elliott there as well as Tui. And good honest efforts from about 3 players here, including Sinclair, who arrived late for Collingwood. And Tony quite happy to knock it out of bounds. Get the restart in Collingwood's attacking half. 65 around from their goal. They lead by 3 points, the Pies.
Well, they've started to dominate the clearances. I'm just watching Bootsma on Elliott. Not a good matchup for Carlton. He's too good at ground level for him.
Half forward for Collingwood. Judd's got it at the throw in. Swan gets his hands onto it though. Hasn't had a lot of it in this opening quarter. Good hand pass inside to Johnson, who hooks the kick off the instep. Cloak arrives, goes to Pendlebury, wrapped up in a terrific tackle by Tui. Carlton's defence holding up here under a lot of pressure. It's been all the Magpies for the last 10 minutes. Ball under a pack. Dwyer had it, lost it. Tui gets it, he lost it. Ball in dispute. McCaffer plays for a free, doesn't get it. Yarran got himself over the ball, drew high contact, and comes up with a free kick for Carlton. Doc Larkins on the boundary.
Well, I saw this with my own eyes, Tim. Mick Malthouse came down, turned right, and headed for the Collingwood bench when he came down from the coaches. They had to grab him and pull him across to the Carlton side, seriously.
Clearing kick from Yarra to the centre line. It's almost quarter time. Pendlebury taken high by Judd. Magpie fans not happy as they don't get the free kick. Lynch has got it. He gives to Shaw. 5 seconds left. They need to be good. Johnson, 1 second left. High ball. Cloak there. Siren beats him. Quarter time. The Magpies lead by 3 points. 3-3-21. Carlton 3 straight goals. Here's the Chemist Warehouse quarter time scoreline. Tremendous opening quarter of footy at the MCG. Some of it played in driving rain, which for now seems to have abated. The lights are on though, as what was a lovely, bright, shining day has turned rather dull. Collingwood lead by 3 points, 3-3-21 to Carlton, 3 straight goals. And repeating that for the second week in a row, Geelong have come back from 5 goals or more down for a victory today by 4 points over the Kangaroos. A 50-metre penalty giving up the winning goal to Jimmy Bartell. We'll hear more of that from Shane McGuinness, who's gone off to see what he can learn about Brad Scott approaching an official after the game. Shane, you're back with us.
Yeah, Tim, I've just found out that Brad Scott, seething, went onto the ground after the game, went straight to a ground official who was responsible for the match day ground conditions. Brad Scott allegedly furious that the roof was not closed. We know that it's pelting rain. It is once again. It did so for the third and fourth quarters here at Etihad. Obviously, usually the roof is closed. Brad Scott furious that the roof was not closed and that it remained open during the second half here at Etihad, in which they went down by 4 points.
And 2 questions, Shane. Was the Bartell free there?
Yes, because Michael Ferrito kicked away the ball after the whistle had been blown.
Yeah, but not the 50 metres.
It was the tackle push in the back new rule that we've learned about.
3-point lead to Collingwood over Carlton at the moment. Doc Larkins, please.
Well, surprising to see Darren Jolly heading for the centre circle, Tone, for the opening of this second quarter. Just remind people he spent a lot of time on the sidelines with breathing difficulties. A big hit into the left ribs. He was downstairs twice. Couldn't even bend over to pick up a drink bottle ashore he picked up. He's gradually come good. He's had a bit of Panadol, and interesting to see if they test out that left chest.
Seb Costello for Europe card. Just the stats that matter, please, Steb.
Last 10 minutes, the ball spent 80% of the time in the Magpies forward half. They won 12 of the last 14 inside 50s.
Richo, well, it's a big one now. Darren Jolly's put his hand up. He's been a great warrior, but you've got it before. Matter of fact, Clinton Lynch going into the ruck, I thought gave him some impetus, plus the rain.
They started winning it out of the clearances. It was Jared Blair. What a great quarter. 9 possessions, 4 clearances and a goal.
So the ball is bounced. Start the second quarter. Murphy wins it for Carlton. They trail by 3 points. They're going to the city again. Off the pack, barging through that time. Is that Garlitt running through? And it's going to bounce and miss to the left.
Gee, that was a great crumb, Tone. That was just classic crumbing from Jeffy.
3-1-19 Carlton, 3-3-21 Collingwood. 40 seconds gone. Second quarter brought to you by Energy Australia. No price rises for the next 2 years. Fixed rate guaranteed from Energy Australia. 3RW, 5AA, 6PR Sunday afternoon football. A beauty at the G. Collingwood by 2 points from the long kick in. Goes to the middle of the ground. Judd somehow shoveled it to Gibbs. Kicks around his body to centre half forward. They can run onto it again. Murphy, dry weather skills. This way, that way. Lovely pick up. He found Yarran. He found Judd. Now this is a tight angle shot. The left foot kick around the body. No, Russell can get back. Just knocked the ball through for one behind. Conceded. And we've got a 1 point game, Tim. Collingwood 3-3-21. Carlton 3-2-20 if you've just joined us. A kick basically at full time by Bartell saw Geelong get over the line against North Melbourne.
Almost could have done a U-turn then, Jeff. Chris Sharon, you don't like it, but he gave it to Judd running towards the boundary on his left leg. It almost would have been better to be selfish then, I guess.
Yes, Judd's presence perhaps carrying the day. It's raining and raining heavily again. Again, Collingwood have turned it over after the kick in. They get it back though here, and Clark shovels a hand pass on. And it's kicked forward by Dwyer to the wing, and the rain is very heavy. Magpies control it. Pendlebury weaves inside like the Rolls Royce that he is and delivers beautifully to a leading Cloak, who is 70 metres out. He has a man loose, Jolly, but his delivery doesn't find him. It's chopped off by Davies for Carlton, who goes to the deck after Jolly's spoiling attempt. Picks himself up, he's okay, and there is no response from the umpire. Free kick or a mark to Carlton at centre half back to Davies.
So Davies, just a little sideways give to Murphy, over the top to Jamieson. Have to be sure-handed now in these wet conditions as Jamison's kick to the members' wing. Flying high, Lucas of Carlton can't take it. Blair, who was terrific in the first quarter, can't keep the ball in the field of play. Simpson knocks it forward a couple of metres for Carlton. Yaron almost got it. Sticking with him though, Russell of Collingwood. Handball to O'Brien. Another one to Blair. He decides to kick along the boundary line. Members side beyond the advancing Elliott that time, and ball runs out of bounds. And Seb, for Europcar, Jared Blair, I think, one of the stars in the first quarter.
10 disposals, Tone, 2 inside 50s, 5 contested possessions, 4 clearances.
Armfield's gone to Elliott now, boys. That's a better matchup. Maybe not in the air, though.
Between wing and half forward for Collingwood. From the throw-in, Judd has possession, wearing yellow boots. His kick is deflected away by Pendlebury, but perhaps the Carlton's advantage. Carazzo had it, helps it to Robinson. Quick kick towards Yaron, who's also got the yellow boots. Can't take the mark, but he's given away a free kick for a trip. Collingwood's ball behind the centre, Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Darren Jolly being subbed out at the moment, cannot run sore ribs. Seedsman, the sub, will come in for the Pies. Tim.
Well, Shorey called it when he went for that contest where he gave away the free kick. He couldn't move, Darren Jolly. It was obviously went out there to give it a crack, but clearly wasn't right.
Collingwood moved the ball to the middle. Mark taken by Lynch. Sideways to the wing, southern side to Maxwell. Collingwood by a point. They're going forward. Laidler at the back. Tried to get a fist on it, but more or less hit it back towards the Collingwood goal. And now the Pies get it at the punt road end. Forward pocket right. 25 around from their goal. 4 minutes gone. Pain away clock, second quarter. 21-20. Collingwood's way, and Collingwood are deep into attack at the moment. Sinclair of Collingwood tries to pick it up from the stoppage. Gives a little one off the ground. Somehow got it to Kate Simpson. Little handball, got it off the Bell. Bell tackle dragged down by Sinclair. Rewarded the tackler. And the young snowy-haired Collingwood player has it. Tim, 65 out for the Pies.
Kicks quickly. Cloak is one out. Jamison did it beautifully. Just edged him out very subtly. And then took the mark behind him in the back pocket at the punt road end. A low clearing ball in the Bootsma direction, and he hangs onto a chest mark for the Blues. A call short from Lucas along the boundary line. He marks behind the wing. We've had 4.5 minutes on the pain away clock in the second term. Collingwood lead by a point. Kick towards half forward. Garlitt, the only man down, been very dangerous. An underground hand pass to Yaron. A nice collect. 40 out. Curling kick. Hit the outside of the post and scores a level at 3-3. 21 apiece at the 5-minute mark. That's the Energy Australia score. But 4-point game. Geelong winning at Etihad. We've got the close one, Tone.
It's two very good games, and we've still got a beauty to come from Perth later in the afternoon as the kick from Johnson tried to find O'Brien. It should be a free kick to O'Brien. I thought he drew high contact, but Seedsman forward of him takes the free kick, slides one along the ground. Neat pick up by Shaw. Shaw of Collingwood just tumbles it to half forward. Carlton player there, a little slow to release it was Henderson, and as a result gets turned over. O'Brien tried to thump it forward, but well smothered that time by Armfield. Ball still forward of the centre. It's going to be a Carlton free kick in the back. Armfield to take it. Umpires allowing play to continue. Tui receives the handball from Cruiser. Halfback Members side, and he goes very wide.
Kicks wide for Rose lead. He got there to get his fingertips onto it, but couldn't hang on. It's over the line for a throw.
Should have handballed Harry O'Brien. First thought, any time in this game. Just one thing, I think Carlton look really well balanced now. I think their matchups are a lot better than what they were halfway during that first quarter.
3-3 apiece. Another goal each, and they'll be level. At the throw-in, it's under a pack, and there will be a ball up.
Some wider stats, please, for Europcar, Sev, some of the dominant players on the ground.
Chris Judd, very good. 10 disposals, 2 inside 50s. Jeffy Garlitt also having a decent day. 8 disposals for him, 3 inside 50s, 3 contested possessions.
Cruiser dominating the airwaves. Knocked it to Garlitt, helped it to Judd, got it to Murphy, but under the pump near the boundary, and inevitably it's over. No high contact against Swan, who took Garlitt over the line. And Garlitt is...
It's been lively, Tim.
He's disorganising Collingwood a bit,
He's the problem, yep.
Been very good. Hasn't kicked a goal yet. They've all been kicked by Walker. Simpson receives from Garlitt, kicks to Yaron, who's got loose. He's taken a mark 40 out, but out near the boundary on the right flank. So it's a very tough shot, but the distance is gettable.
I'm going to try and pick up who's picking Garlitt up. Looks like Benny Johnson, although he doesn't want to go anywhere near him now because I don't think he wants to be blamed.
He's had 9 touches, Jeff.
Chris Yaron with a point to prove around goal. Richo could have won the game for the Blues against Richmond. From on the paint, the kick is always right, and it is indeed out on the full. A poor effort and so scores remain level on the Energy Australia scoreboard, 3-3 apiece.
Simpson's the man. They've got to get into the game, Carlton. He delivered that to Yaron, but very quiet so far in this match.
Ben Johnson's kick tried to find Cloak at half forward. Henderson picked it up and kicked it out on the full. And Ben Johnson, take two, back pocket. Pies going to the punt road end. It's 21 points each. Energy Australia scoreboard. We're 8 minutes into the second quarter. To the wing, member side it goes. Jamison having a beauty. Knocks it down, but Dwyer of Collingwood there. He kept his composure beautifully through traffic. Gave the handball back to Cloak, and the umpire is saying the ball's got to go back as the ball had been moved forward, Matthew, to the Collingwood half forward, but there's going to be a free to Collingwood. Just defensive side of the wing on the member side.
Penalised the side.
Yeah, it did, and that gives Collingwood time to get all their defensive structure, Carlton's defensive structure in place.
I know only 2 rounds in, Tim, but does the advantage rules, that seem to be in short supply, at least in the early rounds? Yes or no? Got any love for that one?
I think it still exists, Tone.
The kick found its way to Cloak, who, low percentage kick, close to the boundary line, tried to find Lynch in the slippery conditions, and the ball slid out of bounds. Scores level, 21 points each. 8 minutes gone, second quarter. 52 around from the Collingwood goal, punt road end.
Wouldn't put it on the endangered species list just yet.
Okay.
But you may be right. There might be a slight diminution from the throw-in. Shaw, a quick kick for Collingwood to the 50. Picked up by Dwyer, sold a bit of candy, and then was mown down by Tui, who gets a little grubber kick about 5 metres for no result. And the ball is under a pack in slippery conditions, and umpire Scott Jeffrey steps in and will ball it up. 49 from Collingwood's goal. Tony Shaw on 3AW.
I love this about Carlton. They've learned from last week. Michael Jamison will play on anybody who goes to full forward. Hasn't moved from full back all day. Lynch got the tap to Blair. Blair got one in the back, and the free kick to Collingwood. Gibbs can't believe the call, but he lay on top of Blair. Put the tackle on, Matthew.
Yeah.
Look at the Ream replay. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the Ream. We're just waiting for it to come up time. But he's been terrific, this man for Collingwood. Got a chance to kick his second goal here, and he has had 10 disposals.
48 metres out. Man on the mark at about 45. He'll kick from 48.
What's his distance like, Shorey? Right on the edge, I reckon?
It's a bit heavier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally a talented kid. Blair for Collingwood to break the deadlock. Gets under it a little bit, pushes right and keeps going right. Didn't get there. Rowe defensively knocked it away. Elliott did the rove. It gave it back to Heathshaw. He can have a snap from 25 metres, Heathshaw. And to be fair, Tone, or probably more precisely to be unfair, probably should have brought it in from there. Missed right, one behind.
Yeah, Berwick got away with one there because Rowe did well, got up and spoiled it, but he had to kill it over the line or even through for a point. He punched it straight back into the corridor and got away with one there, Carlton.
3AW Energy Australia scoreboard. Collingwood 22, Carlton 21, 10 gone second quarter.
Ball brought in long beyond the 50. Judd's got it for Carlton. An overhead hand pass doesn't get a result. Swan for Collingwood. Quick kick to within 25 of goal. Jamison
well done.
Playing superbly down the back. Takes the mark, kicks. A little precariously, but just above the line. Gibbs takes the mark for the Blues. Lee Matthews said late yesterday afternoon on 3AW that he thought this was about as juicy a day of football as any he could remember. Well, we've had a 4-point game, Geelong winning from 6 goals down at Etihad. Collingwood lead Carlton by a point, and we've got West Coast and Hawthorn still to come, and as ever, Lethal is the accurate one. Lynch, long ball for Collingwood to within 30, but Rowe takes an uncontested mark very gracefully for Carlton. He might be the new Swan.
Anyone in this box want to disagree with Lee Matthews' view on football?
No. He's got a statue, Lee. It's just outside. It's a bit wet now, though, the statue.
Seb?
Absolutely not.
They've got problems, Collingwood. Goldsack at full forward, hasn't competed enough in the air, so how long that will last, we'll just see. They've been deep a number of times. He's been outmarked a couple of times.
Carlton knocking around at halfback. Carazzo to Bell. Now Bell goes long, and Garlitt again roves the pack.
Brilliant.
Through traffic he goes. Has a bounce on the slippery surface. At pace runs to 45. Keeps it low. Carries the pack. What a wonderful goal. Jeffy Garlitt. Good guy's goal of the day. 4 or 5 times today he has just read the ball beautifully from the pack. And Chris Yaron, what a wonderful goal. Breaks the deadlock, 4-3-27 Carlton. Collingwood 3-4-22. As we're at the 12-minute mark, Matthew, second quarter Energy Australia scoreboard.
He has been outstanding today, Jeff Garlitt. This quarter, he has done 3 front and square crumbing efforts.
Well, someone
that
go
were
to
just
him.
simply outstanding. If you get those, any young player who wants to learn how to crumb front and centre, his timing, he's hit it at pace and crumbed it beautifully, and then backed himself in, ran through 50, kicked a beautiful goal.
Did you see KB play, Richo, or just heard about his exploits?
I was only young, but
unbelievable, Richo. The
That's
best front and centre
Bartlett's
player
like crumbing,
it was.
isn't it?
Best front and centre player ever to play the game, and I say that without any doubt at all.
And Tone, at pace, 20 paces, including a bounce,
No.
on a wet ground. That's a great skill from Jeff Garlitt.
I think Jordan Russell's gone to him, has he? I don't think he's good enough
It's not
for ground.
the right matchup.
No, gee, they've got that wrong, Collingwood. You have to go with either Tuvey or even Marty Clark, maybe.
Blues by 5 points. Judd's been a workhorse for Carlton. Couldn't prize it out cleanly here. Pendlebury has a go for the Magpies. A McCaffrey kick smothered, bounces to Carlton's advantage. Judd gives to Lucas, a hand pass to Gibbs, has to do the U-turn from on the 50 to full forward. At the back, Yaron lurking. Stolen though, Collingwood's way, they've lost it. Bell's got it for the Blues. Hand pass for the bearded Simpson. Has to take it back outside 50. Swings it back to within 20. No one can mark. Fall of the ball, Tuvey. Bell gets hold of him, brings him down. Spillage with Shaw. Tackled. Couldn't get boot to ball. Still under a pack. Russell tackled. Lost it. Close to the scoreline near the behind post. Blues get it back into the corridor. Great collect, Yaron. Hand pass, Garlitt. His first fumble of the day, though. There would have been a goal staring him in the face. Judd goes in hard, lays a tackle. Carlton hold it in and force a ball up, and it was good pressure.
Great pressure. That's exactly what the modern game's about. Keep it in your forward line. Try and create stoppages. Let's see how Carlton can hold it in
20
here now.
out from the Carlton goal. Lynch has to do the ruck work. Jolly's been subbed off. Thought he got it in the back. Clearance for Collingwood. Side bottom kicks it away as far as he can. Now neither player wants to lose their feet this time. Henderson got there first. Slung as he got rid of the ball at half-back. Ben Johnson overran it, allowed Dwyer. Oh, nice pick up one hand and got away from Henderson on the wing. Has one bounce. Has 2 bounces. Southern side, Dwyer of Collingwood. 3 bounces he's had. Have a fourth. The boy from Port Melbourne runs to half forward. Handball over the top. It's Sinclair. He has a bounce. Oh, almost got away from him. Tight angle, 35 metres, misses. And misses absolutely everything. And it's out on the full.
How good is Sammy Dwyer?
That was a great pickup. Exciting stuff. Low scoring. Everyone enjoying this wonderful contest. Carlton 4-3-27. Collingwood 3-4-22. 15 minutes gone, second quarter, Energy Australia scoreboard.
Blues clear, awkward half volley for Rowe, he overran it. Magpies ball, Big Lynch, 70 out, squeezes a hand pass, hoping for anybody, doesn't really get anybody. He gets a free kick now though, as there's high contact made on Pendlebury. And it's his ball with the man on the mark, 51 out. He places it top of the goal square, cloak up, can't mark, been well contained so far. Tui a fumble, allows the Magpies to converge. Swan dangerous, Shaw calling for it, receives the shovel. His kick though is across the goal face. Lucas camped under it, takes the mark for the Blues. Punt road end, back pocket.
No hurry to get on with it. 5-point margin to Carlton. Earlier today, Geelong by 4 points. As Lucas to halfback, but don't like the kick. Goal sack, didn't quite complete the mark, but able Tony to hold it up. 52 around from the Collingwood goal, half forward, right punt road end.
You've got to give credit to the coaching staff at Carlton. They've, like I said, their matchups. Armfield stopped Elliott, who was a major issue in the first quarter.
Now something's happened after that's gone out. It's ended up being a free kick to Yaron at half back. So boys, I'll get you to have a look at the replay, but goal sack didn't complete the mark, came off his hands. Look for everything to be thrown in from there. Umpire decided free kick to Carlton. Yaron got the kick. Might have just gone out on the full. Roving the packs beautifully. Carlton with numbers. Robinson has it. Scrappy old kick toward half forward it goes. Tuvey has to go between 3 players. Threw it forward. I think that's all right in the modern game now. McCaffrey's handball. Got it that time to O'Brien to side bottom through traffic. I like it. And now Collingwood out through Maxwell.
He advances, he kicks, and he played it very coolly. He didn't get excited and blaze away. Had a lead from Sinclair and delivered to him for a mark low down, 45 out. But he's going to have to kick it in the slippery conditions from only about a step inside 50.
Gee, that was great by side bottom. Just composed, turned around and found Nick Maxwell, and he then put it inside 50. But real classy stuff from side bottom, set this up.
11 disposals for Steele.
20 games last year, Sinclair making his presence felt. His kick is hanging a little right. It just holds up, and he puts the Magpies back in front with a good goal. 4-4-28 to 4-3-27. 17 minutes gone, second term. That's the Energy Australia scoreboard.
First goal since the 26th minute mark of the first quarter. Kick clangers are hurting the Collingwood Football Club, Shorey, despite that goal. They've had 6 more than Carlton. Carlton have had 7 more intercept marks, 10-3.
Yeah, I think conditions, you're going to have a lot more in these conditions, Seb. Now the ball's a bit slippery, but I just think Carlton's on the outside. Once they get on the outside, they look a lot quicker, and if they keep the ball like that, they're still got to find a match-up for Garlitt, because every time he's the one keeping Carlton, I think, in this game at the moment. They've really stabilised their defence with those changes in match-up we said, so they're back into the game, no doubt.
Collingwood regain the lead by 1 point, 18 into the second quarter. Ball bounce. Casbolt doing the ruck work. Lynch for Collingwood. Seedsman already been subbed on for Jolly. Punch forward that time then by Carazzo. Toward half forward. That's his set tone on the outside. Carlton with the numbers. Murphy scrambles a kick to half forward. Shaw keeps it in front of him. Slippery conditions. That was a really good skill. O'Brien took his man on, shrugged the tackle, gave the sideways handball to side bottom. He kicks it up towards Cloak. Well done, Armfield. We've seen him before with crazy bravery, and that was just another one that time. Had to go when the advancing Cloak was within a metre of him. Sideways to the ball he went, knocked it out of bounds. Members wing, 19 minutes gone. Collingwood by a point, 28-27.
Suffered a serious injury a year or two ago, Dennis Armfield, a neck injury, I think, but he does not flinch. Carlton's takeaway here. Kicking towards half forward. Off a pack, Yaron can run all the way home and kick the goal to put the Blues back in front. And it's a classic seesawing Collingwood-Carlton game. The Blues are 5-3-33. The Magpies 4-4-28. 19 minutes second term on the paint away clock.
Well, if you're going to come in and have an impact third man in on a contest, Russell, you have to kill the ball. He didn't. And Yaron, very, very dangerous when the ball's in that situation. And him and Garlitt, every time it goes forward, they're looking really dangerous when the ball gets on the outside with their pace and skill up forward. But Russell would like his time again there. That shouldn't have happened.
Did not have to go in the contest at all.
And that was his direct opponent who didn't go, stayed down, runs in, kicks the goal, Chris Yaron.
Just the Garlitt-Yaron combination, please, Seb, for Europe Car.
Today, for the entire match, it's been 10 disposals for Jeff Garlitt, 8 for Yaron. This quarter, Yaron's had 6, 3 of them leading to scores for Carlton.
So, the handball from the restart from Armfield missed its target. Harry O'Brien's got it, gave it to Dwyer, took on Lucas, shrugged him off. Can Collingwood regain the lead from 40 metres out? Sam Dwyer.
He's a good player,
you bet he can.
Good player.
Where's he come from? Dwyer.
Mature age,
26-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
8 seasons at Port Melbourne, including the last 2 grand finals.
This is great seeing these guys get opportunities. We saw Goods last week for the Bulldogs, and I reckon there's more of them out there in their state comps.
I want to go down to you, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, just talking about Alan Tuvi's been off the ground the last few minutes, having work on a right hamstring with the physios. Sore and tight. He's just running the boundary in front of me, Tone, but a little bit of concern for Tuvi. They're just watching him.
Well, they've got to watch him. Matter of fact, they need him out there because he'd be the Yaron matchup, which would let release Russell to someone else, maybe a bit taller player.
Hard to predict the winner here. The lead keeps changing. Seb will tell us how many times it has oscillated. Asafa Powell's here watching a bit of AFL football after his ill-fated trip to Stall. Just picked him up on the Ream replay. Ball up Carlton's footy. Taken away by Tui. Looking like Robert Klomp. Kicks into half forward. No one able to mark. Reid recovered well after contesting in the air. Got it to Johnson. Runs the full measure to the wing. Kick into half forward. Front posse Goldsack couldn't mark. It just slipped over the line before Seedsman could get his hands onto the seed, and the ball will be thrown in about 75 out. Collingwood's left half forward flank as they go to the punt road end.
7 lead changes, Tim.
I'll get a Jared Blair update too. Doesn't seem to be as prominent this quarter. At half-back, Carlton win the ball. Yaron's kick floats in the air. Lead-up man taking the mark, and it was a good one too from Casbolt. They've moved it on quickly. Henderson and Yaron. What a great leap, Yaron over Russell.
And Henderson's gone straight up to Russell and letting him know, so Walker, this is a bad matchup for Collingwood. It's been a bad matchup for the whole quarter.
Just the vertical leap, going with the flight of the ball. That is a great, brave grab. And 35, 40 metres out maximum. Again, another lead change maybe coming up. Collingwood has it by a point, but Chris Yarran, a couple of goals in this quarter. To the city end he goes. We're at the 22-minute mark, second quarter. Yarran and Garlitt been wonderful. The former has the shot. It holds its line. It's a goal. 3 in this quarter to Chris Yarran. 5-point lead to Carlton, 6-3-39. Collingwood 5-4-34. Let's get a summary of the 22 minutes so far in stats for Europcar.
That was disposal number 7 this quarter for Chris Yarran. He's a dominant player on the ground, 2 goals as well, 3 contested possessions. Tony, you're asking about Jared Blair. He's had 11 disposals, just 2 of them this quarter though, so he's been somewhat taken out of the game, Richo.
Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Tuvey has gone back onto the ground. He had a little run and they asked him how he was. He said, I'll give it a go. So concerned with that right hamstring tightness, but he's on the ground, Tuvey.
Yeah, they've made a change down there now. Nick Maxwell has gone to Yarran. Him and Garlitt, they've stepped up. Eddie Betts, their best forward out of the game today. These two had to stand up. They have done so far.
No Eddie Betts, no worries so far for the Blues. Murphy wins it out of the middle and Lucas takes a wonderful, courageous mark. Coming the other way was it Gibbs, who's on the deck in a screaming heap.
Walker,
and pass to Murphy, who gives it to Robinson. Long high ball to full forward. No one able to mark. Casbolt had it well tackled. Clearing kick Maxwell, but he kicked blind and he kicked straight to Cade Simpson, who's marked it 25 out on a slight angle and one which doesn't do any harm to his left foot kicking action.
Gee, they're the old coach killer, those kicks, when you're in your back 50 and you just snap it around your body without looking, like Nick Maxwell did then. It invariably hurts you.
Be worried about him though with that beard having this shot for goal, Richo.
Well, it could weigh him down a little bit. It might tug his kick. Luke Darcy wouldn't be keen on it. Doesn't like beards, Luke.
He comes in and he puts it right through the middle. Carlton stretch it to 11 points. The Blues are 7-3-45. The Magpies are 5-4-34 on the Energy Australia scoreboard.
That was the 11th mark from opposition kicks the Blues have had today. They've got a +8 differential in that category, Tone.
Yeah, well, that was just a bit of panic, but he was under pressure, Nick Maxwell. You'd hopefully that would go to the boundary line. It wasn't going to be an issue. But look, it's the Yarran Garlitt. It's like Eddie Betts. Collingwood haven't been able to stop the small forwards from Carlton in the last 3 games they've played, and it's continuing today.
Yeah, and those kicks there, sure, you see more of them in football now because defenders, they don't want to hit the boundary because of the deliberate rule, and they're having to snap around their body, keeping it in play, and it's a dangerous kick, but you haven't got an option now. You can't hit the boundary like you used to.
3.5 minutes, paint away, countdown clock to half time. Carlton out to 11-point lead from the restart. No mucking about. Cruiser of Carlton kicks to half forward along the deck that time. Trying to get onto it, Ben Johnson unable to. I thought that was high on the Collingwood player then. Trying to get it, Russell. Still play on Carlton at centre half forward. Murphy kicked it off the ground. Straight into the arms that time of Maxwell, who tried to kick it away as far as he could. It's only really gone about 20 metres. Kane Lucas having a few nice touches. Took it, kicks to full forward. Fly to the ball. Casbolt there, knocked away by Brown. The punch was effective. Tim found its way to Blair. Blair's kick good. Collingwood has the ball at halfback.
Shaw keeps it very wide. Delivers to Elliott behind the wing.
Got more leg speed, Carlton, when it gets out in the open.
Elliott's kick is good to Cloak, who's had to come up a long way to the centre line. He kicks long, but he doesn't kick terribly well for the man that he was after, Dwyer, and it's easy for the taller Laidler to hammer it away to the boundary for a throw in right half forward flank.
That's where they've lost the structure now, Shorey, because Clinton Lynch would have been the one hitting up. He would have been kicking that into Cloak, but Cloak's had to get up.
I go with Swan and Pendlebury, just rotate through that forward part because they're smart players. From the ball thrown in, Lynch got the tap away. Heath Shaw's kick just tumbled end on end, and Collingwood, who seems to be a rare trip forward in this quarter, they trail at the moment by 11 points. They've at least get the ball thrown in, forward pocket right, about 25 around from their goal. Cruiser taps it away. Cruiser does the roving. His kick partially smothered there by Pendlebury, but it fell to Robinson, and all Robinson wants to do is kick it back to the middle of the ground. Now Judd and Jordan Russell go at it. Judd's got it. Tackled that time by Seedsman. Casbolt's there. They're in numbers. He locked it to Bell. Bell of Collingwood lost it in the tackle. Thought Ben Johnson was way slow. It should be on. He's going to get a free kick. Kate Simpson can't believe it. And gingerly getting up. It's going to be Swans, but he's going to give the ball back to Ben Johnson. who just kicks it as far as he can to full forward. Jamison's had the honours over Cloak. Knocks it away this time through the arms of Armfield. 25 out from the Collingwood goal. Packer players again crushing, and Gibbs just making sure any of the leaks were plugged to the side. Holds it up, and the umpire wants to toss it up. Directly in front of the Collingwood goal. Late in the second quarter. Carlton by 11 points. Collingwood with a chance.
And needing one here, and they might get it. Goldsack off the pack. Swings it around the corner.
Ooh.
Just offline. For a behind. Carlton by 10 points, 7-3-45. Collingwood 5-5-35. As I mentioned, we saw on the TV screen Asafa Powell's here. I wonder what he would have thought when he said to someone, who's that number 26 for Collingwood? And they said Ben Johnson.
Yes. Laidler marks the kick in at half back. He's changed since I last saw him. So Laidler's got it for Carlton, who really, I reckon, Tony, are just look to be more in control of the game than the scoreboard shows. It's a 10-point lead. Maxwell timed his leap beautifully, knocked it away, but Judd at half back took it, kicks to half forward. Tuvey does the good strong body work that time on Walker. And Tuvey, half back members side, goes toward wing half back to Shaw on the southern side, but not much on. We've got 56 seconds to half time, Tim. Collingwood have the ball in the middle, but Carlton's got the ball. Carlton's got the lead by 10 points. Jordan Russell has it for the Pies.
And gets some hoots from the Carlton fans. The former first-round draft pick for Carlton. His kick into the 50, slides to the back. That's dangerous for the defending team. Sidebottom's got it near the boundary, steers it back inboard. Yaron got back, dropped a mark. Perhaps he should have taken, but Carlton get a free. They get off the hook, and they should be able to protect their lead now. 25 seconds left, and they have possession of the ball. Yaron kicks it long towards the wing. Rowe can't quite hang on to the mark, but he will get a free or possession and give to Carazzo.
So Carazzo's got it. He can go wide. It's still going to skid across the turf. Cade Simpson keeps it alive. Now, if he can find a target with 6 seconds to go, Carlton can have the last shot at goal. No, he's stopped. He's played on. Now he's kicked it long. I think the siren beats the players. That does. But Collingwood with the ones that has to do all the thinking, Tim. It is Carlton on the Energy Australia scoreboard. And Energy Australia, no price rises for 2 years, fixed rate guarantee. 7-3-45 the Blues, Collingwood 5-5-35.
And you reckon Mick's had them pretty well revved up for this. The Blues have come out very impressively, kicked the first 3 goals and then kicked a couple late in the half to have that lead. It is, as Tony Leonard said, 10 points at halfway. The halftime wrap coming up for Batocchi. 3AW is football.
Sunday afternoon football, 3AW and 5AA. Carlton at halftime, 7-3-45. Collingwood 5-5-35. Geelong by 4 points over North Melbourne early this afternoon for Supreme Caravans. Game just underway in Perth. First score of the game, 1 behind it to the West Coast Eagles. Peter Larkins, I'll go down to you. We're about a minute and a half away from starting. We saw Darren Jolly leave in an ambulance. Again, diagnosis on the run. We don't want to, but what's your best guess at what's happened here?
Well, my best guess is he's got a couple of cracked ribs on the left side, and then he's getting a slow leak from a collapsed lung potentially. So that's the reason he's off to Epworth Hospital to have scans and to have a look at the lung itself. He did go back on the ground after the incident 3 minutes in the first quarter. Clearly was distressed with his breathing and chest pain. And I suspect that they didn't notice that he would have had a collapsed lung here, Tony. They wouldn't put him back on that situation. But a bit like a tyre, you can get a slow leak.
Yep.
And with the passage of time and the fact he was subbed out, they were taking the precaution. Off to Epworth Hospital. They'll be looking at x-rays to see if he's got a slow leak in the lung. I'll try and confirm that. But at best, he's going to have some very sore ribs that could keep him out for a couple of weeks anyway, Tone.
And at worst?
Well, a collapsed lung will keep him out for 6.
Peter Larkins there as the players come toward you. As Paul Seedsman was the sub of the player subbed in. Brock McLean is the sub for Carlton. Hasn't been activated yet. 10-point lead to the Blues. Tony Shaw, quick word from you and Matthew before the resumption of play in a minute.
Well, quick word is I'm looking at the bench and Ben Johnson's going there. He's Shaw. That's 2 small defenders. And the problem that Collingwood's had is 2 small forwards for the opposition. So can't understand that very early. And also Blair, who's been one of their best midfielders, comes to the bench. Well, they're giving other players opportunities, so we'll see who matches up. Even Harry O'Brien at times can go back to defence. He struggled against those smaller types last year, but he has done it. But that's the issue at the moment. 2 small forwards are standing out, and I think their midfield just had a bit more cleaner clearances from the contest.
Yeah, and the other thing, obviously, with the Jolly situation, it's forced Lynch into the ruck. It's forced Cloak to come up the ground further. He hasn't been able to have any impact inside 50 at all. And when it has gone in there, Jamison's actually been able to beat him in the one-on-one. So for Collingwood to win, they need to get Cloak up and about, and they need to stop the influence of Garlitt and Yarran down the other end.
The Docs said they could be without Jolly for 6. They play Hawthorn, Richmond, Essendon, St Kilda, Fremantle and Geelong. That's a tough 6 weeks of footy to be without their key big man.
Before the restart of the game here, Seb Costello play underway for Supreme Caravans in Perth.
Hawks by 5, Tone over the Eagles, 5 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Collingwood, it's only a 10-point margin, Tim, Carlton's way, but you think it's a bit bigger than that on balance of play. About to start the second half. Here's Tim Lane on 3RW Football.
It's been played in waves, and the first wave of the second half will be crucial. It is underway. Collingwood's ball, but now seizing it as Lucas. He's dispossessed. Swan gets it, and they want to lift from him. He wheels inside. He kicks cleverly to Dwyer just outside
Beautiful
50.
kick.
And on the lead is Elliott to take the mark. 30 out, straight in front, and this could be the best possible start for Collingwood.
Dwyer's looked good, hasn't he?
Oh, he's talented.
He's got pace and brilliant skills there, and that was a daisy-cutting pass. Absolutely nothing the defender could do there, and this will be a good start for the Pies.
And it started with Dane Swan, who really imposed himself on a loose ball contest. He comes in, Dwyer, and he kicks Elliott and kicks a goal. Puts it right through the middle. That is his second of the day, and Collingwood immediately draw to within 4 points. Carlton 7-3. Collingwood 6-5. That's on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, matter of fact, for both sides, it's the small forwards who are looking more dangerous at both ends, isn't it? Like Elliott's been good, Dwyer, as you said, just a talented player. We could just see his disposal. Easy clearance, so not enough pressure around that ball. I know that it was a loose one, Tim, and Swanee got the ball, but there wasn't enough pressure on that next kick. So a minute gone, third quarter for RACV Business Insurance. Collingwood with the first strike, a goal, and the gap now 4 points. Still Carlton's way. Jolly gone for the day. Seedsman on, no sub from Carlton yet. Cruiser got a decisive tap forward, and then Robinson, no frills, kicked it off the ground 35-40 metres towards goal. Oh, coming through at pace, Yarran, left foot snap around the body, bouncing towards goal. Mark Murphy's there, pursued that time by Maxwell. Murphy got it high, I thought. Umpire said play on is the call. He said he ducked, and in the meantime, play continued on, and Tuvey won a free kick. He too for high contact. Carlton fans have just seen the replay, don't like it. It's a good kick to half-back. Collingwood controlled the ball through Lynch.
He gives to Clark, and he gives to the running Seedsman, who pumps a hand pass into the middle, side bottom, an overhead hand pass is good to Dwyer. Drew tacklers, gave to Seedsman, back towards Dwyer, missed him. McCaffrey's got it. He gives to Sinclair, who snaps wildly, very wildly. It's missed the right behind post by 30 metres. Before going out on the full. It's a Carlton free kick to be taken in the back pocket.
He held the ball on across his foot tone to go right to left. It actually went left to right.
Yeah, what Murphy should have got the free kick. Don't worry about that.
Carazzo continuing on the job on Pendlebury in this second half, done pretty well. Pendlebury only 11 disposals, and his kicking efficiency, a smooth mover, only 43%, so he's been under pressure every time he's had it.
I'd like him to go forward for 5 to 7 minutes of every quarter. He's a dangerous forward.
Davies' kick went long to half-back boundary line. Carlton have it from the throw-in. Good knock from Carazzo, straight to Cade Simpson. Round his body, kick missed, members wing, and the Collingwood skipper Maxwell has it. 45 to 41. The Blues in front for RACV Business Insurance. 3 minutes into the third quarter. Maxwell's kicked a half forward, close to the boundary line. Swan's there as well. Thought he might have been held that time. Pulled back. Now it's inside attacking 50. Tui's got to get back. Shovel the ball to Jamison. He's tackled and he's handballed it straight out red hot. And what does the umpire say? Toss it in. I think he might have dodged a bullet that time, Michael Jamison. The result, ball to be thrown in right at attacking 50. Half forward right, members side. Collingwood into attack, trailing by 4 points.
And the umpire's wave to toss it in was a little half-baked, as though his heart was torn. From the throw in, Collingwood's ball. Dwyer brought down by Judd. Spillage to Garlitt. Quick kick to the middle. Good trap, Casbolt. Hand pass to Rowe. Cool sidestep. Long ball. Walker one out here. Got the sit. Couldn't quite hang on. Gets the free kick. Dragged down from behind. We'll get 50 if the Magpies aren't careful.
Yarran was dangerous again then. He got goal side. He's looming as the match winner. He had that one disposal inside 50 before, but they can't go with him when it gets out in the open. Chris Yaron, too much pace.
Ben Johnson's got the matchup. They have looked shaky in the air also, a lot of these Collingwood defenders.
And again, Walker takes the long run up. He makes a mark.
Get a good look at this, don't we?
3 or 4 metres before he pivots his foot to kick. He comes in. Bit of an angle out to the right. Lets it go. It starts right, curling a little, not curling enough. It went in the direction of the run-up, Richo. It's a behind. Carlton 7-4-46.
Yeah,
Collingwood 6-5-41.
It's a pretty straight run-up until the last few steps and went out to his right. And as you said, exactly where the kick went.
I reckon he's tired when he kicks it. It's that long.
Ben Johnson kicked to himself from the kick in. To the wing he goes. Southern side Cruiser. Knocked at that time in the row direction. Handball came back to him. He goes long. It was a scrappy old kick in the Casbolt direction. And the ball just ran harmlessly out of bounds. Forward pocket right, punt road end. The Carlton into attack. They lead by 5 points. And we're at the 5-minute mark, Tony Shaw of the third quarter. Tell you what, I like the way Sammy Rowe looks pretty good. Thrown in. Oh, at the back, Robinson just knocked Blair out of the way. Now it's directly in front of the Carlton goal, 15-20 metres out. Ben Reid, the handball over the header, side bottom. Bell comes through for Carlton. He'll kick a goal, shrug the tackle. And again, the margin out to 11 points the Blues way. 8-4-52 Carlton. Collingwood 6-5-41. RACV Business Insurance scoreboard. Richo, they've answered goal each to start the second half.
Yeah, they certainly had. That was a loose ball get. Again, inside forward 50 and just look a little bit too nippy once the ball hits the ground in there, and Bell did well and shrugged a tackle. He's a powerful looking boy, Bell. He's got a big body on him and he used it well there. Ran into an open goal.
Got to find another role for Pendlebury. You got, if you're not doing it in midfield and the bloke's tagging, you just take Carazzo to the square for 7 minutes, put him under enormous pressure to see if he can cope with being deep.
Well, it'll be interesting because he's down on the pine now, having a chat to the coach, Nathan Buckley, on the headset. Shorey, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when he comes back on the ground, whether he does go forward.
Strong play by Bell. The bounce favours Lynch here, who gets first hand onto it, but Bell's there again. Got a hand pass out. It just missed Judd, who was streaming past. And again, the ball is in dispute. There's a Carlton free kick to Robinson. Such a hard worker for the Blues. Shocking kick. Mongrel off the side of the boot. Maxwell under it. Dropped a mark he should have taken. Murphy is allowed in. Little left foot off the instep. Yaron dangerous. Johnson with him every step. Held him. Free kick to Yaron. 25 out, 45-degree angle. Major scoring chance for the Blues.
Yeah, well, that was just panic by Benny Johnson. That's simply a dangerous player, and there was no need for that. He had him covered. But Yaron just worried him into a free kick.
Pretty soft, though.
There wasn't much in it, you're right.
It was. So Yaron, who has found the range after a couple of crucial misses, which must have haunted him after the Richmond game. 2 goals in the second quarter. Lets it go from 30 and splits the middle. And the Blues have strung 2 together, and they have almost their biggest lead of the day. Not quite. They did kick the first 3 goals of the day. They're 9-4-58. Collingwood 6-5-41 on the RACV Business Insurance.
17 points. So 17 points the margin. Tony Shaw.
Oh, look, I think you've got to throw this to your best matchup. I think Heath Shaw should go to Yaron. All right, he's the best forward at the moment. Put your best defender on him. You might lose some drive, but the way this bloke's going, he's just going to kick goals to win you the game.
17 points and widening, and the Blues have certainly got every answer. Let's go around the ground. Seb Costello.
Hawks by 4 points, Tone. 9 minutes to play in the first quarter for Supreme Caravans.
You're a beauty. Geelong, last kick of the day, winning, or basically last kick of the day, winning by 4 points over North Melbourne from the restart. Bell shoveled it forward, fell to Murphy. Carlton again, relentless now, going in towards Casbolt. Ball knocked to the front of the pack. Gibbs threw a few. Handball over the top, just a fraction on it to Garlitt. Garlitt's against the boundary line, unable to keep it in the field of play. But Tony and Matthew, it looked dangerous yet again. As Jeff Garlitt just couldn't keep it alive for the Blues. They lead by 17 points, and they have the ball deep into attack. The tap, Lynch, taken by Bell. Shark by Clark, slow to get rid of it. Judd, snap over the shoulder. Missed right.
Gee, danger sign. This is an important 5 minutes coming up for Collingwood. Carlton are doing all the attacking.
Heath Shaw's playing at full forward at the moment, boys. The defence is under pressure. Just get him even as a loose man to try and stem the tide and get some flow.
Clearance is 7-1 Carlton's way in this quarter.
They're playing revved up footy. Ball brought back in by Jordan Russell to a contest beyond the 50. They're sure at the fall of the ball for Collingwood. Gave to Clark, turned back into trouble. Hand pass to Maxwell. Gets a hand pass on the Lucas tackle. It was good to Shaw. Quick kick to Sinclair. Well weighted. He takes the mark. Members wing. Collingwood badly needing a goal, trailing by 18 points. Sinclair placing it to a lead from Cloak, and he marks this but beyond 50. He's going to unload. Harry O'Brien is there if required. He is. He touches it. He touches it through for a minor score. It's not going right for the Magpies. The Blues still lead by 17 points on the RAC Business Insurance scoreboard 10 minutes in.
Was Simpson to bring it back into play?
It's
an awful
here.
kick. And I'm almost going to gift one to McCaffer here. The kick from Simpson only travelled 30 metres, and it was McCaffer able to take the intercept mark. Jeez. And he's only, Matthew, 35 metres out slide angle. But it's still a pressure kick. They trail by 17 points to Collingwood.
Yeah, they've done all the attacking, a great 10 minutes. It can be undone by one mistake like this.
They need it at the 10-minute mark, third quarter, the Pies. 4-step run in. Seemed to leave the boot okay, but went across the face of goal. And missing a chance they cannot afford to miss now, Collingwood. Low-scoring game, 6-7-43, the Pies. Trailing Carlton, 9-5-59 on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard. Call 13 RACV for all your business needs.
Henderson long out beyond the 50, front and square for Carlton was Murphy, but his hand pass was smothered. Simpson goes in but lost it. O'Brien sidesteps, kicks intelligently top of the goal square. No one can mark. Fisted by Davies for the Blues to the scoreline. Was good play. Desperate defence. Collingwood 3 consecutive minors. The Blues lead by 15 points, 11.5 gone.
Henderson to bring it back into play. Comes to the members' side. Didn't quite go in the direction he wanted to. Siege was there. Robinson for Carlton from the side. Good strong mark. Can come out wide. Man free was Gibbs. Defensive side of the wing has it for Carlton. Right in front of the 3RW5AA commentary box. Runs this way, then that away. Then sort of chips 135 metres. Carlton into attack from the side. Reed. Pack crashes. Cruiser goes down as well. Ball in dispute. Carlton get there first. Yaron, the handball, just pushed off it by Ben Johnson. Coming through that time then Elliott. Lost the ball in a tackle. Carlton make the turnover. Umpire said he didn't have it. I think they dodged a bullet because Armfield was going for goal that time, Tim. Defensive side of the centre square. Collingwood has it, and O'Brien takes the mark.
At half back, he has Swan loose on the wing. Southern side, short kick to Pendlebury. Forward of centre now. Collingwood still looking for that goal to really cut into the lead. They go very wide, and it has been marked by Dwyer out beyond the 50. He kicks in a hurry, one-on-one. Cloak couldn't hang on though. Fall of the ball, he's still a chance. Got it now. Hand pass, Marty Clark up front. The Irishman swings with the left, and he it is who breaks the drought for Collingwood and brings them back to within 9 points. Marty Clark. Good guy's goal of the day. Carlton fans not happy with what preceded it up in the middle of the ground. The Blues 9-5-59, the Magpies 7-8-50. RACV Business Insurance scoreboard.
All started, Matthew, from a disputed free that went Elliott's way.
Yeah, spot on. Marty Clark has been reasonably solid today. Probably stepped up a little bit with Pendlebury and Swan not having a huge impact, and that was an important goal. Good comeback by Collingwood the last 5 minutes. Carlton looked to be getting away from them. Kicked 3 points, now a goal, back within 9 points, and just stemmed the flow. The Blues had all of the play in that first 10 minutes.
Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Michael Jamieson in trouble down the race with the Carlton doctor. I thought he was limping when he went through. Haven't seen an incident, but he's off the ground at the moment. He was on Cloak.
Cruiser got the tap. Murphy a little kick forward, but it ricocheted back to Sinclair, whose handball went to Tooby. Spirals one to half forward, southern side. Dwyer comes in. Blair there as well. Now he just does a little circle, now brings the left foot kick around his body, too much on it for Shaw. On Laidlaw went the punch and missed. Tight angle shot, can Heath Shaw deliver? Yes he can! Oh, that was pressure from Heath Shaw, and from a tight angle, he brings the Pies to within 3 points. 8-8-56 the Pies. The Blues 9-5-59 on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard.
Well, that's why Nathan Buckley's a coach and I'm sitting up here, because I thought this bloke had to go back, but they've started to win some ascendancy around the contest. Some lucky ones that you call, Tone. A couple of lucky free kicks. But that just shows his flexibility, Heath. He loves kicking a goal. Don't worry about that. That's a good one on the replay. See the brother sitting there, unemotional.
It's quarter time for Supreme Caravan. Seb Costello.
Hawks lead the Eagles by 16 points, Tone. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Gee, Laidler would like his time again there, though, Shorey.
He's not good turning on that.
Gee, went up in the air. He just had a clear spoil. Shaw turned him inside out. Laidler failed to take his man or the ball in the contest, and
it looked a bit
great
rusty.
Goal.
Cruiser, a big hammering knock for Carlton, almost to the 50 at the centre bounce. Murphy's got it, ran into trouble, gave to Judd, swinging left foot, kicked it within 30. No one able to mark, fall of the ball. Garlitt had to go, so did Robinson. Magpies hold firm. Out the back door it comes to the big Q. Lynch kicks to the 50, finds Swan. Starting to link up a bit for Collingwood here. The Magpies have pulled back from 3 goals down to be within 3 points. 15 gone on the paint away clock.
Short to side bottom. 59 to 56. Side bottom at half back. Short to Swan. How many this quarter? He seems to have really lifted, Seb, for Europe Car.
4 disposals this quarter for Dane Swan.
And we're at the 15-minute mark. So it's a tiny lift by his standards. Short to Pendlebury.
Just Pendlebury's second touch. Just cannot shake Carazzo, doing a good job.
At half back. Just decides to kick to a contest. Members wing. Cloak works his way to the front. Henderson from behind. Tui there for Carlton as well. Now the ball slips out of bounds. Right in front of you, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Michael Jamieson, good news, he's up on the boundary getting work on the right hip. I think he got a cork just below the hip near the buttock, so the physio's working on him. He's still off.
So it's a 3-point lead. Carlton has it. The Bell handball. Tries to push it forward again. Dwyer, though, grabbed without the ball. Should have been a free. Collingwood, though, Tim, can mop up at half-back, although Yaron almost with the intercept.
Yes, and Garlitt there too. They're a handy pair, but they're beaten this time. Side bottom. Quick kick for Swan. Cruiser made the spoil. Collected for Collingwood by Dwyer. Gave to Ben Johnson under the pump. He got rid of the Lucas tackle. Gave to Maxwell at full belt. Hand pass to Shaw, releasing him forward to the wing. He has 2 bounces. In towards half forward. Low kick. Low ball. Collected by Sinclair. Tackled. Got it off to the Kaffer. To Shaw, who can put the Magpies in front. He hit the post. And still the Blues lead by the skin of their teeth. It's 9-5, 59 to 8-9, 57, 17 minutes gone.
He's on fire, Shorey. Shaw is on fire, Shorey.
Oh, mate, he loves kicking a goal, like I said, even from half-back, but he's a talented player. Look, good move by Nathan Buckley, because he's a hard matchup. I think Carlton have to have a look at that one now.
Short on the kick in Carlton. Went to Lucas, still in defensive 50. Now he kicks to a pack of about 8 players. Cruiser in front. Ball knocked down. Carazzo shovels it. Walker tackled by Jordan Russell. Going nowhere. Surely the umpire to come in. Separate the players. In what is a beaut game. Carlton looked like when they ran 17 points in front after a Yaron goal that they might just be pulling away from Collingwood. All credit to the Pies. Tim, they've brought it back to within 2 points. 18-minute mark. Paint away clock in the third quarter.
Just Collingwood side of the centre line at the ball up, and the ball doesn't come loose. The umpire might have to throw it up again. He's letting it go and hoping, and it's still not coming out. Now it might. Yaron squirting a hand pass to Cruiser. Deft footwork by the big man, and a lovely kick to Garlitt. Running for him is Rowe. Can he get to the drop? He can, and he takes the mark at the second or third attempt as it bobbled out first time. He's 35 out straight in front, and Sam Rowe should stretch Carlton's lead as for Supreme Caravans. Seb early in the second term in Perth.
Yeah, the Hawks leading the Eagles by 22 points, Tim, with 4 minutes to play in the first quarter, but he's got 2 for Supreme Caravans.
Rowe has been impressive, and Carlton fans will think he's a whole lot more impressive if he can drive this right between the big sticks. He comes in, and from 40 he does precisely that. Beautifully done. His first goal in the big time, and his teammates come in and congratulate him. And what a journey it's been. Carlton 10-5, 65, lead Collingwood 8-9, 57, 19 minutes third term.
There's a nice finish by Rowe's first goal in league footy. It's been a massive journey for him, we all know, of his battles last year, and took his time. He was on a Sydney's list for a while, then went to the SANFL, spent 4 years there, and then over to the Blues, and great to see him out there.
Good quarter for him too. No Blues had more disposals than Sam Rowe this quarter with 4.
8-point margin. 19-minute mark, third quarter. Carlton 65, Collingwood 57.
Nick Maxwell in the ruck, boys.
Let's see how he goes. It's a good bounce.
I don't like it.
Cruiser ran straight at him. He tapped it straight to Judd, whose handball went over the top to Bell. Bounce eluded him. Cleaned up by Collingwood. Goal sack. Gave it to Pendlebury. Moves on to the right boot. Kicks toward half forward. Running hard. Cloak on the bounce. Traps it. Drew a player. Handball missed. Goal sack. In support though is Lynch. He's going to have to get rid of it quickly. He does. Pendlebury kept running. The pass to the feet of that time to Sinclair. 40 metres out. Collingwood into attack. Laidler can't pick the ball out. Now it comes out to Sinclair. Underground handball missed. Jamison at Carlton cleans up. Kept his head. Got it to Robinson. Hurries a left foot kick back towards the wing. But in a matter of moments it's coming back because Collingwood's Russell's got the ball.
Public enemy number one for Carlton fans because he used to wear the navy blue. He squirts at the gold sack between wing and half forward, hugs the boundary, Cloak's there on the lead, and he's got it on his chest. 30 out, tight angle, right flank near the boundary, and I've got him down for just one behind for the day. Seb, how does that stack up on the Europcar board?
That is what I have as... No, I don't think I've got him for anything here.
I gave him a behind for a shot earlier.
No,
came off Harry
not credited.
O'Brien and went through.
Not credited.
They probably gave it rushed. He kicks from near the boundary. That is across the face. And now he has a behind. Carlton 65, Collingwood 58. So 7 points in it, 21 minutes gone.
The big thing about that, though, he got off Michael Jamison. I don't know whether Jamison, Doc said he had a sore leg or a hip. He couldn't go with him then, and he's been with him all day.
So Tui to bring it back into play for Carlton. High and long. Pendlebury from the side. Knocked forward by Cruiser at halfback. Just a little kick off the deck. Wins 15 metres and it was good. Went to Simpson. Handball to Murphy. Tells Bell to shepherd him and that's what he does. And the Carlton skipper has two bounces. 65 out at half forward. Now it's a vacant goal square. It's bouncing end on end on end. And it is a goal to Murphy. A good guy's goal of the day. For LG, life's good. Back-to-back goals for the Blues. Again, the margin goes out beyond 2 goals. 11-5-71 Carlton, 8-10-58 the Magpies. All on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard.
Yeah, it's Carlton's turn again now. The last 5 minutes, they've got ascendancy back, but you can take that back to the wing. What a great shepherd by Bell. Murphy called him to shepherd. He did it beautifully. That gave Murphy time to run and carry, and that was a smart kick. 65 metres out. Wet ball. It's always going to skid straight through, and what a great goal. 13 points.
Australian Institute of Fitness contender rookie of the week, Tom Bell. We've liked his game, Tim.
Been outstanding. Hawks going very well. We'll check in with Seb shortly. Made a mistake earlier. They're still in the first quarter. Judd wins the clearance for the Blues. Couple of them get in each other's way, but Lucas still comes up with it for Carlton. Backwards to Rowe. Kicks to Walker on the lead. Chopped off. Spilling ball. Walker did well. Knocks it on. Has Murphy in space near the boundary. Right forward pocket. Bending it back. Across the face, though. A minor score. Looking to work a second consecutive miracle. The Blues are 11-6-72. The Magpies 8-10-58 at the 23-minute mark of the third term. Seb for Supreme Caravans.
Hawks leading the Eagles by 28 points, Tim. 6-1-37 to the Eagles 1-3-9. 70, now 60 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Russell long on the kick into halfback southern side. O'Brien comes up with it, keeps it in the field of play. Shrugged the Walker tackle, then the kick just rolls along the ground to McCaffer. Dispossessed nicely by Simpson. Simpson was tackled, didn't make contact with the boot. Elliott handball was okay to Lynch, all this southern wing. Picked up by the Collingwood big man. Inside attacking 50. Jamison being manhandled, he was in front. Play on the call. Now it's underneath the feet of Cloak. He's over the top of it. Umpire sees it correctly. There was not holding that time as Jamison pushed it in. The result, ball to be tossed up, 45 out from the Collingwood goal. So Rowe got the tap away. Clearance goes to Carlton. Little left foot kick back towards the wing. Brown, the tap. Carlton trying to get onto the football this time. Lucas, a big tackle on Clark going nowhere. And another stoppage takes place at the 24-minute mark of the third quarter. It is Carlton, Tim, leading by 14 points.
Still anybody's game. Blues have had the better of it for a considerable part, but Collingwood always near enough. Harry O'Brien here, ducked under a tackle, skids a kick into the 50. They're a real chance. Elliott around the corner, kicks for goal. And the Magpies strike back yet again. The margin 8 points. RACV Business Insurance scoreboard. Carlton 11, 672. Collingwood 9, 10, 64. Jamie Elliott has kicked 3.
Well, just going to say, I think this ruck situation with no Darren Jolly is really hurting Collingwood because Sammy Rowe's done a good job. They've started to win the clearances, but how Jamie Elliott can be 30 metres clear by himself, 30 metres out, and it looked like his man had gone to the ball. I don't know what happened, miscommunication from that stoppage, but that was just too easy, and I think Mick Moldhouse will be pulling his hair out saying that should never happen.
Yeah, got caught ball watching and got sucked to the play. His opponent is Tui, and he's been good. Jamie Elliott, 3 goals. He's stood up. They needed someone inside forward 50 to have an impact. It's been him.
Rowe's done the ruck work this time. Couldn't get the ball cleanly. Dwyer hurried a little kick, went straight up in the air. So it's in the middle of the ground. Play on the call. Rowe got boot the ball quickly for Carlton. Yaron knocked it on beautifully. Henderson having a run up forward. Round the body he goes. And Lux of Fortune, the man in the spot, was Jeff Garlitt. And he's 40 metres out, slide angle, as Knight starting to descend rather rapidly at the MCG before the Garlitt kick. Quarter time score, please, Seb from Subiaco.
Quarter time in Perth Tone, 28-point lead to the Hawks over the Eagles, 6-137 to 139. Cyril 2, Buddy 2 for Supreme Caravans.
Carlton by 8 points. Garlitt to extend the margin late in the third quarter. Ball on its way, looks good from here, and it's a goal. 12-6, 78 the Blues. Collingwood 9-10, 64 on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard.
Tone, I know you said there was a bit of luck involved with that kick. Let me tell you, there was no luck in that because Jordan Russell is playing on Jeffy Garlitt and he turned him inside out at the contest. Yeah, this has been an issue all day for Collingwood, these small players, and they have to get this match up right. I think even Jordan Russell will go and play across half forward, move him out of that situation. Maybe Marty Clark go back. Even Harry O'Brien, although he's been good in the last round, they've got to find a remedy for it.
Well, Seedsman was on him for half of the quarter. He's now up on Simpson. I thought he was going okay.
That over, yeah.
I don't know why they changed that.
That's a good pickup.
Couple of goals to Jeff Garlitt today.
Been a 5-goal to 4 third quarter, a thriller. Rowe in ruck, relieving Cruiser and doing pretty well in those contests. He got the ball rolling that led up to that last goal. Collingwood's win here though. Lynch got it to Swan. Quick kick, high kick. Gibbs did well to mark it. Hasn't had a big day after an impressive first up performance against Richmond. His kick here is looking for Garlitt, who very nearly outmarked Russell. He recovers better than him and kicks to the forward pocket. Judd's having a rest. He's in the contest. He takes it out to the boundary and over for a throw-in. 25 around from the right behind post. Punt road end. Carlton 78, Collingwood 64. 27 gone. A goal here would be huge.
Still 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Paint away countdown clock as Lynch tries to knock it away from the goal. Coming up with it, Pendlebury hurries a right foot kick toward the middle. Carlton with the numbers. They don't work it out that time. Tui's there as well as Armfield, as well as Gibbs. Back to Armfield by hand. He kicks it quickly, half forward right. Carlton into attack. Oh, Yaron with one hand just knocked it into the path of Murphy. 65 metres out. Again a vacant goal square. Oh, and it bounces right.
He's shorts down behind play, Tony. And he's waving.
He's no good.
Whether it's a cramp. Yeah, it is cramping, I think.
Gee, well, he's given them the spark this quarter. Carlton 12-7-79, Collingwood 9-10-64.
Gee, I got worried then, Shorey, when he put his hands up to the trainer, but it is just cramp. He's getting it stretched out by the trainer. That's good news for Collingwood.
Harry O'Brien slipping loose, receiving the kick in and delivering to Lynch. High at half-back, southern side, and he has Dwyer loose and finds him. Bit easy this release from Collingwood. From full-back to the wing, under no pressure. Dwyer comes inside and kicks long into the 50. I'd say he kicks long. He tried to kick long. Oh, chance for Elliott. He fumbled. Bootsma for Carlton. Got a hand pass and then a little deflection. But it's the Magpies' ball. Dwyer got it to Goldsack. Lines them up and kicks a goal. And the Magpies pull one back.
Smart.
And the margin is just 9 points once again. 12-7-79 Carlton. 10-10-70. Collingwood 29 gone on the paint away clock.
He's had a great quarter, Tony Shaw. He's had 8 disposals, Dwyer, and just worked his way beautifully through traffic there. And just having a look at the replay, Bootsma fumbled the footy, but he weaved his way through 3 Carlton opponents, freed Goldsack up, drew the pressure onto him, took the pressure off Goldsack, and he delivered, and that's an important goal. Close to three-quarter time, back to 9 points.
Peter Larkins.
Yeah, saw his nephew here working on it was cramps out there. He couldn't get up off the ground, so he's been running pretty hard, Heater, but now getting some good work on the sidelines on the calves.
Carlton by 9 points. There is still a minute 44 to three-quarter time. Cruiser, he's had the rest, got a big thump to Bell. Bell's handball missed, taken by Dwyer, tried to shovel the ball to Swan. They've turned it over Collingwood because Cruiser picks it up. To full forward it goes. Oh, Yaron. He and Garlitt, you're right, boys, they have got that Collingwood defence absolutely spooked.
Well, they're the match winners. We said it at half-time. We said it early. These are the guys that are going to win the game. For Carlton, they haven't got any key forwards to stand up. It's been Walker, then it was Garlitt in the second quarter and Yaron, and both of them are having an impact again this quarter.
30 metres out, slide angle to the punt road end. They lead by 9 points, Carlton. Yaron for his fourth goal. Should goal from here. He's pushed it a little right, hit the post. Well, maybe evens up the Heath Shaw one before. It's a 10-point margin, as it was at half-time, Tim. 12-8-80 Carlton, 10 points over Collingwood, 10-10-70. 31 minutes gone, third quarter, RACV, Business Insurance Scoreboard.
I don't know whether Chris Yaron likes this end. The Magpies bring it in. Walker should mark it. Low down, couldn't quite hang on. McCaffrey gets his body over the ball. He's gang tackled. He's holding it in. There'll be a ball up. 75 from Carlton's goal. About 3 minutes ago, Carlton were attacking for a 21-point lead. The Magpies, though, gold on the rebound. It's right now 10 points into the last minute of the third term from the restart. Another pack, another ball up, and the clock ticks towards 30 seconds. Umpire McInerney tosses it up. 65 out from the Blues goal. Harry O'Brien's got it. Got rid of one tackler, not the second. Carlton fans wanting ball, they don't get it. Lucas soccers it clear out towards the boundary. Simpson first there, brought down. Has another go, got it, but his kick's off the side of the boot. And that will be that for the Blues, you would think, as the clock ticks to 17 seconds. Collingwood free kick in the back pocket to Swan.
Score second quarter, please, for Supreme Caravans.
Second quarter, seconds, Old Tone, still the Hawks by 28 points over the Eagles.
It's a 10-point lead to Carlton. The Swan kick was marked by Cruiser on the boundary line. Got 13 seconds. Should move it on quickly.
Need a mark here.
And he's just gone long, hoping for someone for Carlton to take a grab late. Ball knocked away by Reid. They should get out of it now, Collingwood. It fell to O'Brien. Handball went to Swan. He'll deliver it. It's okay. But a three-quarter time, Tim. 12-8-80 Carlton. Collingwood 10-10-70. Third quarter for RACV Business Insurance.
And nothing changed. They kicked 5 goals, 5 apiece. It was full of entertainment. It's Carlton and Collingwood, but this has been a sparkling affair. The Blues by 10 points at the last change on the RACV Business Insurance scoreboard. 3AW is football.
10-point lead. Carlton has it three-quarter time. 12-8-80 to Collingwood, 10-10-70. More interest on the benches, though, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, three-quarter time, 94 interchanges to the Pies, 92 to Carlton. Matthew Cruiser still down the race. Went down with a doctor at the start of three-quarter time. The doctor came up very quickly, so there wasn't much going on down there, but didn't seem to be limping. But Cruiser still was down there, and the other person of interest was Michael Jamieson, still having a lot of a treatment on the right hip. But Brock McLean still got fresh legs in the green vest. No sub-action for Carlton, of course, and Darren Jolly in hospital with suspected rim and possible lung damage for Collingwood.
Still plenty to play for. 1 quarter left. It's been a beauty. Seb Costello. Carlton has a 10-point lead at three-quarter time. What does the Europcar stat sheet say?
Well, they're getting the first possession out of the clearances, Tone, 15-6. They're winning the contested possession +8. Hit-outs. It's unfortunate for Carlton if Matty Cruiser's got an issue because he's dominating with 25 hit-outs and a number of clearances himself. In terms of major disposal winners for the Collingwood Football Club, 19 to Heath Shaw, 18 to Dwyer, who had 9 in that quarter. He was particularly good. Meanwhile, around the grounds, the Hawks lead the Eagles by 39 points 5 minutes into the second quarter.
Oh, it's shaping up as a beauty here. You felt like Carlton have really had the better of play. Collingwood have had more disposal, but you just felt that Carlton were more dangerous. They looked more dangerous inside 50, that's for sure. And for Collingwood to win this game, I think they need to try and get a lift out of Pendlebury in this last quarter, who's been on Carazzo. Could Cloak stand up? He needs to take a couple of contested marks, but it's the same theme that we've been talking about all day. If Yaron and Garlitt can remain dangerous inside 50 and they can get the ball in there, you feel that Carlton may be able to go on with this.
have a look at the body language of both groups, Tony. I don't think Collingwood could have been crammed in any time listening to Nathan Buckley, and when Mick was speaking, I don't think anyone bothered to breathe in the Carlton camp.
Nah, look, there's a lot of, not a lot on the line. It's still a big year, but you want to win just because of this being such a big game. Look, I think the ruck issue is wearing Collingwood down. Quinton Lynch's inability to go forward has really hurt Collingwood. It's been the smalls. The smalls have been fantastic. Dwyer and Elliott up forward for Collingwood, and then you've got Garlitt and Yaron. I agree. I think Carlton just getting across the line a little bit more. A couple of Collingwood players. Sinclair looks like he's cramping up. Heath Shaw's cramped up. So there's some issues coming into this last quarter. But you're right, Pendlebury, he needs to lift. He's a leader at this club, and Carazzo's had the best of it.
Does anyone in the booth think Collingwood can overcome the 10-point deficit?
Oh, they can.
They definitely can.
I'll rephrase the question. Anyone think Collingwood will overcome the deficit?
I don't think so at this stage.
I think Carlton have been the better team all day, and I'll stick with them.
Got Larkins before the start.
Yeah, Cruiser will start in the middle, so he is going to take this ruck contest. Jeffy Garlitt on the bench getting massage on the legs.
Was an umpiring interchange, I noticed. Doc Scott Jeffrey out. Awkward in the swirling breeze. Goldsack had it, he was tackled, he wrestles it out over the boundary line. Throw in 30 around, Collingwood attacking to the punt road end.
Earlier today, Geelong by 4 points. Seb Hawthorn well on top in Perth.
Comfortable tone, 31-point lead over the Eagles with 13 minutes to play in the second.
Collingwood deep into attack, trail by 9 points from the throw-in. Bell of Carlton, handball missed. Pendlebury against the boundary line. Drew a man, clever play to Sinclair for a Collingwood goal.
Great hand.
There you go. He's the man, Pendlebury.
Drew the man, Sinclair goals, 11-11-77 Collingwood. Carlton 12-8-80 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, if he can get quality touches like that, he did that beautifully, Scott Pendlebury. Hemmed up against the boundary line. He didn't panic, he waited. He drew the opposition towards him and then just put it on a plate for Sinclair to finish. But Bell just thought he had more time in back 50.
McLean's on.
Doc, yep, sub's been called.
Yeah, Jeremy Laidler has come off and had the red vest coming back a little bit underdone. So he's in. And Brock McLean, I noticed the last person that Mick Moldhouse spoke to before he went up to the coach's box was Brock McLean. He's gone straight into this centre bounce. Obviously they want to get some midfield drive out of him.
Yeah, Laidler showing rust again there when he coughed the ball up. And it ultimately produced a Collingwood goal. The Blues lead by half a kick. Swan gets it out of the middle for the Magpies. A scrubber to Dwyer. Hand pass to Blair. Tied up by Armfield. Picked up by Sinclair for Collingwood. He's gang tackled. Prized out by the Blues, but Shaw's got it in the middle. Pulled off his kick. Russell picks it up. Gives to side bottom. Clever little sideways off the instep to O'Brien. Quick dab forward to Dwyer. Overcommitting himself for Carlton was Davies. Dwyer puts it into the 50. It is with Swan, who swings to the top of the goal square. Cloak couldn't hang on, but he got the arm chop. Play on called. A goal to Collingwood. Kick was it by Blair.
Yep.
He puts the Magpies in front. 4 minutes into the last quarter. Collingwood 12-11. Carlton 12-8. On the Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, we talked at three-quarter time. They need a lift out of Pendlebury. He set up one goal. A lift out of Cloak. Didn't mark the football then, but drew the free kick. Would have kicked the goal anyway. They played on with the advantage. But Cloak stood at the top of the goal square. Swan, disciplined kick. And he will mark a couple if they keep getting it one-on-one to him.
As good as the Carlton small forwards have been, you've got to give credit to Elliott, Sinclair and Dwyer. They've been so creative. And, they just kept that ball alive then out in the wing. And it's just been maybe kept Collingwood in the game.
And the other thing there, Henderson got caught out on Cloak. Jamison's had him in the one-on-ones all day, but for some reason he wasn't on him then.
Big thump from Cruiser, met though at half-back by Shaw. Kicks around his body. Collingwood have regained the lead since the end of the first quarter. Have just hit it now, 6 into the final quarter. At half-back for Carlton. Armfield goes to Murphy, can't complete the mark. O'Brien paddles on in front of him. Swan allowed to come through. Tackled by Gibbs, got the kick away under pressure. Only to half-back where Lachlan Henderson, nice sidestep. Avoided the oncoming man. Gave it back to Jamison. Jamison of Carlton kicks the ball towards the wing. Ball spills. Front of the pack was Goldsack. Handball knocked down. Turnover. Murphy. Can he pick it up through traffic? Gave it to Carazzo. Carazzo got it off to Garlitt. Runs to half forward. And then he kicks the ball outside of the right boot. Beyond Yaron that time. Who's sure? Keeps it cool at the moment. Saves Collingwood that time. 6 into the final quarter. It's Collingwood by 3 points. Foxtel scoreboard.
And suddenly looking to steady a team. Clark advances with a couple of bounces and kicks well. And it is extremely well marked for Collingwood by Elliott.
He's a good
He
player.
has good hands.
Australian Institute of Fitness, another rookie contender today, Tim.
Plays much taller than his pint size. He kicks to Cloak. 2 bites, couldn't hang on. Retrieves the ball, gives to side bottom. Good smother on the kick by McLean. The deflection with Jamison. Gave to McLean, to Lucas, back to McLean. Now to Cruiser. Awkward hand pass. Falls off his hands to Goldsack. Hand pass to Clark. Dispossessed. Walker kicks off the ground but straight to Swan. Collingwood back into attack. Swan's kick a little aimless. Murphy getting back. The line's his friend and he takes it over. Collingwood fans,
They don't know the rule.
not happy, but no support from the umpire. Minor score. Collingwood on top right now. Magpies by 3 points.
That was all right. He was
4
under
points.
pressure. You're allowed to when you're under pressure.
rule.
After 7 minutes, final quarter, it's Collingwood 2-2. Carlton haven't changed the score. To half-back, the Murphy kick. Knocked back to half-forward. This time by Lynch. Lynch to Cloak, back to Lynch. Hurries a kick to full forward. Armfield Brave goes back under pressure. Not going to lose his feet this time. Walker closer to full-back, gave to Armfield. Back to Walker under pressure. Tumbles one to half-back. 2-on-2 battle. That was a fantastic hands that time then. And the mark taken by Casbolt. High kick towards the members' wing. Not sure that's the play. McLean, the substitute on for Laidler. Knocks it in front. Got it to Lucas. To McLean. Back to Lucas of Carlton. Ball on the wing. Collingwood by 4 points. 7 into the final quarter. Garlitt threw a man over the top. Releases Lucas. Forward of the wing he goes. To attacking 50. Carlton at the city end. In front this time Yaron. Ball spills loose. Front of the pack. Reid gets there first. Defensive handball was good. Ben Johnson, a little left foot kick. On the bounce. Russell picks it up. Goes to Marty Clark. All this at half-back member side. Back to Lynch. Back to Marty Clark.
He's out,
Clark's kick. He certainly is. All alone is Elliott. The kick from Clark found him. A bounce. He's run to 40, 35, 30, 25, and he's kicked the goal.
Gee, how good's it been? Well done to Marty.
He is some player, Jamie Elliott. And Collingwood go to a 10-point lead. 13, 12, 90. Carlton 12, 8, 80 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, how did he get that free though, Shorey? The ball was in Carlton's
chase.
forward line. Yeah, he did.
He didn't chase.
That's a great forward play. Don't chase, just wait and get it on the way back.
You know about it, Richo. The one thing about it, looks like Nick Maxwell might be a bit tight, Doc, too, on the boundary there. He just came off limping.
Yeah, he's just come off and he's had some cramp work, so they're just giving him a fair bit of massage work. And Nick's yelling out orders, so he'll be right to go back. He's pretty enthusiastic.
Well done to Marty Clark then on the wing, just the old 1-2, just doubled up to get space.
Been very good today. Big swing this. Seb, I'll check. Was it 5 unanswered by Collingwood? They were 3 goals down. They lead by 10 points right now and they're
4
playing like
unanswered,
winners. Swan wins it out of the middle. He's lifted. Wide ball. Jamison attacked it. Overran it. O'Brien seizes the moment. Kicks forward. Kicks well. Chest mark dropped by Elliott. Picked up by Dwyer. Gives to O'Brien. Dispossessed. Picked up for Carlton by Armfield. Desperate times for the Blues. A hand pass to Bell. Swings it clear off half-back out near the boundary. The umpire has a look and says deliberate. It's a free kick to Collingwood. And it is all Collingwood at the moment. Swan chips inside to McCaffer, who kicks long. It'll land 20 out. Cloak there. Row up with the fist. And it slides off his knuckles to the boundary. Throw in right forward pocket for the Pies.
Seb, inside 50s, final quarter after 9 minutes for Europcar.
8 Collingwood, 3 Carlton.
10-point lead to the Pies, and they've got a deep forward pocket punt road in. Rowe does the ruck work off the deck. The kick off the ground. Coming through, was that Swan who was coming through?
He's short.
Short. So one behind results, 11 points, 13-13, 91. Foxtel scoreboard. Carlton 12-8, 80 as the kick in for Carlton finds Gibbs at halfback. Score around the grounds for Supreme Caravans Blues.
Hawthorn leading the Eagles by 38 points, Tone, with 8 minutes to play in the second.
And a little error, a lapse of concentration by side bottom. He'd intercepted the kick, but then he dropped it onto his boot, Tim, out on the full. And at halfback, Carlton take the free kick, but they trail by 11 points.
McLean, not a long kick of the ball, not a lot of depth in this. Off the pack, Judd, quick hands to Garlitt, needs to be, Lucas rather, quick kick forward. Cruiser though has 2 to beat and they're quicker than he is on the ground. Garlitt arrived and almost stole it off Reid's boot. Reid gets it back out to Toovey. Desperate smother by Gibbs and rebounded to Reid. Tackled. Ball was the chorus. No call from the umpire. Collingwood still have it. Lynch to Clark. Cooley goes backwards and delivers to Harry O'Brien in the 50, but Collingwood hold possession and he chips a little pass to the former Blue Jordan Russell.
91-80, the Pies lead. As he can go wide to half-back Pendlebury covering the ground. How many in this final quarter for Pendlebury, please, Seb?
Scott Pendlebury getting busy time, but it's the 3 possessions this quarter.
Short to Brown of Collingwood. The kick's all right. Nice grab by McCaffrey on the wing. The pass, it's bounced off Heath Shaw's arm. Walker came through, knocked it to Murphy. Handball was good, found Cruiser. 2 men wide. City side, the southern wing. Got it off to Carazzo. He's just going to tumble one, and it's going toward the boundary line. No, Garlitt, can he keep it alive? He does. Leads O'Brien to the ball. Garlitt deep to the forward pocket, round the body, bouncing. It's there!
That is
unbelievable! A good guy's goal of the day. It's as if everyone had stopped, and the Garlitt snap out of nothing gives Carlton 13-8-86. Collingwood 13-13-91 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Oh, you're right. Everyone stopped. I reckon Harry O'Brien nearly stopped. I think he thought it was going to go out of bounds. It didn't. Probably not enough intensity there. It's a fantastic. He was outside 50 around the body from the boundary line.
3 to Garlitt, 3 to Yarran, 3 to Walker for the Blues, 4 to Elliott for Collingwood, a couple each to Blair and Sinclair, and it is game on. Carlton back within 5 points, 12 and a half gone. Collingwood looking for a second win, Carlton looking to open their account and avoid starting the season with 2 straight losses. Horrible bounce by Shane McInerney. He calls for it back.
While we have it around the grounds for Supreme Caravans.
Hawks now leading the Eagles by 32 points Tone with 7 minutes to play. Make that 26. The Eagles have just kicked a goal.
Ball thrown up. McLean, the sub out of the middle for the Blues. A high ball is a poor kick. Robinson arrived for Carlton to make the spoil. Spillage with Clark for Collingwood. Just thrust it forward to nobody. Judd's got it to McLean, who's helping lift Carlton. Gives to Bell, now to Toohey. Quick kick wide for Simpson. Still just 4 to the wing, but the Blues lifting now under pressure. Long ball, Cruiser there, big pack, no one can mark. Carazzo, bounce elusive for him. Pendlebury slips into a tackle, draws it high, comes up with a free kick at half-back for Collingwood. The Pies 91, the Blues 86. 13 and a half gone on the paint away clock.
Pendlebury goes short. I'm not sure about the kick. It's come off though. And Elliott, what a brilliant game the youngsters had today. Short to Blair. Ball at half-back member side. He's going to go short again. It's okay, Lynch.
He's been big this last quarter.
Has he?
Lynch.
He has, Richo. 7 disposals, 3 contested possessions.
He goes for Cloak on the lead. A metre in front of Jamison, able to complete the mark. No 50 on there.
You know what? This Mick Molesby sitting in the box saying, I taught him this. Kicking down the boundary line.
Cloak's kick 50 metres to within 30 of the Collingwood goal. Knocked away by Henderson. Front of the back, Shaw to Elliott. Has to hurry a kick through into the pocket to Swan. In front of the Toohey that time. And has taken it for Collingwood. 20 metres out is Dane Swan on a 45-degree angle.
Elliott's been good. He presented up here to half-back, which started that whole play. It was slacked by Bryce Gibbs, actually. Let Elliott lead into it. And then he's got involved inside forward 50 and gets the kick around to Swan. He's been huge, Jamie Elliott. Probably the best game just about I've seen him play.
Collingwood by 5 points. We're at the 15-minute mark, final quarter. Dane Swan, quite by his standards, can give the Pies some breathing space. Ball on its way. He's given them the breathing space. 14-13-97. Carlton 13-8-86. Foxtel scoreboard. 84,247 have come here today, Matthew.
Yeah.
And what a fantastic comeback by Collingwood, but the game far from won.
No, it's still plenty in this game. Sure, you've obviously seen a lot of the Pies. Is it Elliott's best game today?
Oh, yeah, close enough. Look, as I said before the game, he's such a talent. He can mark above his head. He's a hard matchup, super quick, and they just love him down there. But look, I've been really wrapped in Dwight. You're right, Quinton Lynch's last quarter, he has really just stood up here. He is out on his feet. Now, Cruiser needs to lift for Carlton in this last 10 minutes of play to give him some impetus around these contests.
Well, he's basically been one out, Quinton Lynch, from early in the game when Jolly went off with the rib injury.
Oh, another bad bounce. Favoured Cruiser gives Carlton a break here. Robinson a high ball into the 50. Rowe, Carlton's only chance. Collingwood had numbers. Maxwell shoveled it to Johnson, who bangs his kick back to the middle, where Tui fell over and then had to go at the contest front on. And so it's a free kick to McCaffer as rain falls again. Collingwood with all the run. Kick to Seedsman. Gets to about 53, but Blazers out on the full. A free kick to Carlton back pocket. Seb, have you got the rotation numbers? Because Carlton have stopped a bit in this last quarter, and I know Mick after the Richmond game said he felt they didn't interchange enough.
Collingwood 111 rotations, Tim. Carlton 113, both sides with 19 this quarter.
Jamison with the kick to the southern wing. Swan tries to get a handball away. Lucas stays with him. Collingwood by 11 points. 97-86. The scrappy old kick met by Seedsman of Collingwood. Forward of the wing. In the cloak direction. Oh, he's almost taken the mark. Play on the call. Now he's lying over the top of it, 25 metres out for the Pies. But the umpire said unable to get rid of it. And the umpire will toss it up. Quick around the grounds, please, Seb.
Real comeback by the Eagles here, Tone. Hawks' lead is now 14 points with 5 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Collingwood by 11 points. They have it in their forward pockets. The stoppage. Gibbs has done it well, Tim, and should relieve the pressure for Carlton.
Yeah, Cooley touched it on the ground and puts it into a good spot. Two Blues running at it. Yarran, the first of them, with noted pace. Runs forward. Kicks towards a lead from Lucas. One grab, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Completes the mark. It's Garlitt, in fact, who's taken it between centre and half forward, goes backwards, brings it into the corridor to Davies. Still a long, long way from home. Low ball, placing it for Rowe, who's up, can't take the mark. Fall of the ball, it favours McLean. Hand pass to Simpson, away from goal to Garlitt. 75 out, swinging kick. Collingwood with two big spoilers there. They hammer it to the boundary. Throw in Carlton's right forward pocket. The crowd posted at 84,247.
They've got to grab one here, Carlton. They trail by 11 points. They're deep into attack. Cruiser knocks it to the very front. Now the ball just going harmlessly. Well,
that came off the boot.
You call it harmlessly, Tone. To the goal line. One behind the Carlton. 10 points. The lead to Collingwood on the Foxtel scoreboard. 14-13-97. Carlton 13-9-87. Fantastic finish that Eddie had earlier today when Geelong won by 4 points. We've got a similar wonderful finish today as the Pies bring it back in. Marty Clark's kick was long. Bell, no frills for Carlton, knocks it out of bounds. And the stoppage will be in Carlton's attacking half, but only barely.
Just on Jamie Elliott, boys, easily the best game of his career in front of goal. 4 goals, beating his previous best of 3 against the Gold Coast last year.
Blues footy, Judd swings it into the 50. No one able to mark. Spilling ball, all Collingwood. Blair kicks to the centre line.
Kick.
Almost a mark to the Magpies, but taken away from them by Walker. Gives to Jamison to Murphy. Threads the eye of the needle. Got between two tacklers. Kicks in towards the 50. No one able to mark. It fell into the corridor. Reed, though, covers for Collingwood. Gave to Swan. A rare fumble. Spilling ball picked up by Johnson for the Magpies. Pressured. Keeps his click in play just. But Simpson marks it for Carlton, who are coming again. He's 85 out on the flank.
And he's gone long, right to the top of the square. Carlton deep into attack. Robinson there. Oh, he almost pulled in a big mark. 20 metres out, forward pocket, close to the boundary line. Collingwood with the ball. They've lost it. Johnson to Gibbs. Tackle. Handball free to Casbolt. The snap from Robinson off a step. He is going to miss right. And one behind results. 13-10-88 Carlton. Collingwood 14-13-97 as the Pies bring it back into play with the quick kick. It is effective too, and Sidebottom's got it at half-back for the Pies.
With O'Brien running for him, and Sidebottom draws Armfield, the man on the mark, then gives to Harry, who kicks up the wing and beyond, and he sets up Seedsman, who's got it now. 60 out, doesn't try the run and the glory this time, gives a hand pass. It's that man Elliott. He's getting tackled, he's gone.
Well,
it's a Carlton free kick.
Paul Seedsman's made a couple of really big blues here. He's a young player, but you just got to understand this is finals football here.
Walker at half-back for the Blues.
Who kicks to a contest on the wing. Collingwood with the numbers out there again. It was Tone. Well, and Sidebottom effective again today. Took a nice mark.
Collingwood's made use of the loose man a lot better in this last quarter. They've set up well.
Short to O'Brien, allowed to run. He'll kick it to within 30 metres of the Collingwood goal. Cloak in front. Too much carry on the ball. Gee, I thought McCaffrey was being held off the ball that time. Simpson, a neat handball, went to Bootsma. Back to Simpson on defensive 50. The kick under pressure. Again, Collingwood with the numbers defensively on the wing. Armfield arrives. Now Carlton's got the numbers of 3-on-2. Casbolt just should allow Lucas to go through. He knocked it forward. I thought Reid was grabbed without the ball. Didn't matter. Side bottom to clean up. And Collingwood now with Clark have men in the middle and free.
Yeah, controlling the corridor here. And now Shaw has it. He loads up, miscues. It fell onto Blair's chest, but he dropped it. It's built to Murphy. Costly fumble by the Carlton skipper. Bell squeezes out a hand pass to McLean, who gives to Carazzo. Kick to Garlitt. Forward of the centre line. The Blues are still coming, needing 2 goals to win beyond the 21-minute mark. Garlitt's been a star. He kicks to his mate Yaron and beyond, and Henderson has taken a mark 45 out on a 45-degree angle, but it's a very tough shot in slippery conditions late in the day.
Collingwood by 9 points.
Lockie Henderson, who is a sometime forward, sometime defender, knows how to kick a goal. He kicked one. No, he didn't kick one in the previous quarter. Here he goes from on the 50. Not a bad line. Good distance. Brilliant kick. Good guy's goal of the day. Blues within 3 points at the 22-minute mark. It's a game that will not die. Collingwood 14-13-97. Carlton 14-10-94.
Yeah, terrific kick under pressure from Lockie Henderson. And Brock McLean come on as a sub very early in this quarter, 7. I reckon he's had an impact.
Certainly has, Richo. 8 disposals, 2 contested possessions. He's been involved in Carlton scores. He is having an impact as a sub.
Tell you what, tired players though. Heath Shaw, very tight kick. Blair drops a chest mark. These players have put it all out here. One of the greatest games you'll ever see and the biggest day you'll ever see.
Carlton will not let Collingwood have the loose player now. They've got 7 forwards, Carlton.
It's a 3-point lead to Collingwood. We're at the 23-minute mark. There is still 5 minutes of playing time left. 97-94 in favour of the Pies. Bounce, middle of the ground. Cruiser rose high, knocked it forward. Bell tried to knock it on the deck. McLean, a little kick through. Well read though by side bottom of Collingwood. Hurries a kick to half forward and getting near the boundary line. Oh, Jamison stripped by Cloak. Cloak then kicks it long. It's going on. It's just missed left. Well, it hit the behind post on the padding, but it was certainly going left. And it's a 4-point lead to the Pies on the Foxtel scoreboard. 98-94. Tim with 4.5 minutes playing time left.
Cloak hurt his leg there, which left Jamison loose at the kick that he receives. Kicks up the wing. Collingwood's ball side bottom, a little hand pass.
Well done.
Cloak back in very hard. Hand pass to McCaffrey, to Tuvey. Collingwood dangerous, low ball, low down. Picked up by Elliott. He's taken the mark. He can be the hero of this day. In front of 84,000 plus at the MCG. Jamie Elliott is 30 out. The man on the mark, 25. Elliott to kick from about 30 and 5 metres in from the boundary.
That's why you paid Travis Cloak the big money. He was so desperate on the outside 50-metre arc to keep that ball alive.
20 years of age, shown nerves of steel today. He shows them right now by threading the eye of the needle, and that might have done the job for the Magpies. They lead by 10 points, 15-14, 104. Carlton 14-10-94 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
He's the match winner today. He's been terrific. Set up Swan's goal earlier with 2 possessions in a passage of play, and he's got it all. He can mark overhead. He's quick. He uses the ball well. They've got a real player here, Collingwood.
And for a 20-year-old Tone, best first year player. You're almost as if I want the ball. Give it to me, and I'll hold my nerve. Still plenty of time, though, for the Blues.
Oh, this ain't over.
But they have to be precise. 3 minutes 42 left. Collingwood 104, Carlton 94. It's half-time in Perth, Seb Costello.
Yes, and the Hawks with a 26-point lead into the break time, 11-12, 68 to the Eagles, 6-6, 42.
Australian Institute.
Another bad bounce.
Rookie of the week will be Jamie Elliott. It was, and it went to Cruiser, who thumped it forward to Robinson. Robinson ball at centre half forward for the Blues. Armfield spun out of the pack. He can deliver a pass to Lucas, and he's got it 45 metres out.
That is shocking. That is 2 bounces are gone back to the line. Now they haven't gone out the line, so he cannot recall at the umpire. No ruckman can get. You've got to have a 50, or at least 60 to 40% chance.
That was like a possession out of the middle.
No doubt.
They won't lie down. They trail by 10 points. Carlton. Kane Lucas, 45 out slide angle. The kick. Oh, it's almost boomerang back, but
it has.
Carried the pack. It has.
That was a shocking kick.
It was going left and then went back. And Carlton 15-10-100, trailing Collingwood 15-14-104 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Is it possible that his kicking coach is the club president?
I tell you what, Scotty Pendlebury just went straight to the umpire then and said, come on, this is ridiculous. That's why they should throw it up all the time. And on that occasion, don't give them the opportunity. That is now, and look, one's all right, you can probably wear one, but not two in a row. The advantage that the other ruckman cannot influence the contest.
Still into that boundary umpire from 1979.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Bounce to the footy with Collingwood leading by 4 points. 26 and a half gone. Carlton's ball. Judd fumbled, got it back under pressure. Hand pass out towards the wing. Simpson first there. Hand pass to Davies. Leans back. Kicks long. Casbolt their chance. Ball comes to the back. Covered by Johnson. Yarran with him. Pull him off it. Out to the boundary it goes for a throw in. Carlton have it where they need it. They need a goal to win it. They lost first up by 5 points. Right now they trail by 4, and we have a bit over 2.5 minutes left.
It's 45 around from the Carlton goal. Cruiser tries to flip it out the back. Dwyer of Collingwood read it beautifully. Straight to Maxwell, who kicks it 55, 60 metres away. 2-on-2 battle. Members wing. Armfield knocks it in front of himself. It's close to the boundary line. He took his eyes off it for a moment and turned it over. Brown of Collingwood's got it. He kicks the ball beyond the advancing pack of Goldsack and Walker. Ball at half forward for Collingwood. Goldsack picks it up. Jamie Elliott again has got it 40 metres out directly in front for the Pies.
Well, I feel a young player in Bootsma. He left his man Jamie Elliott. He was trying to get over and help out, but he ended up in no man's land. And Elliott just sat back and did it beautifully. That's just a young player. Didn't commit enough to the contest, got caught in no man's land, and then Jamie and Elliott found the space over the back.
And he was smart, Elliott. He backpedaled away from the contest to give him more space.
He has 5 goals, Jamie Elliott. Minute and a half left. Collingwood lead by 4 points. Oh, it's a tired kick. It won't get the distance. No, one off hands, one behind.
He was cramping before the kick, Tone. He just couldn't get the leverage.
15-15-105 Collingwood. Carlton 15-10-100. Tim, a minute 31 left.
Walker plays on and kicks low in the Cruiser direction. Shaw did well. Made the spoil. Carazzo for Carlton. Hand pass to Judd. They haven't got it free though. Judd towards Cruiser. They can't escape. Magpies hold it in. There'll be a ball up at Collingwood's 50 with the paint away countdown clock showing a minute 13 left. It's at Collingwood's end of the ground. They lead by 5 points.
Umpire tosses the ball straight up.
Third man up.
Swan, third man up. Off the deck though, that time by Tui. It's coming back in a matter of moments. Who's sure? 25 out. Pendlebury the handball. Picked up that time by Elliott. Off the side bottom for a goal!
Elliott again.
And Pendlebury.
Surely that is it. 16-15-111 Collingwood. Carlton 15-10-100 on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, Scott Pendlebury got involved again. Elliott got involved. Hasn't had a huge day, Pendlebury, but important touches in this last quarter, and their big names have stood up. Travis Cloke's effort at ground level before created the goal for Elliott. Pendlebury gets involved there. That's why they're the big game players, and they're paid well because they produced when it was needed in this last quarter.
And sometimes a mongrel kick forward is better than a precise kick which can be intercepted. He's sure. He's been cramping for most of this last quarter, and that was again one of the. It was a mongrel off the foot.
And don't let anyone tell you Collingwood haven't wanted to win this for their coach and against their old coach, and that the Blues haven't wanted to win it for theirs. It's been played with a grand final-like ferocity and passion.
Side bottom's been
from
good.
The ball up. Collingwood work it forward. Davies gets back for Carlton. A falling effort. Pendlebury steals it. He might run in and put the last little dob of icing on a big black and white cake. He runs it home. It's a good guy's winning goal of the day. The Magpies by 17 points with seconds left. 17-15, 117 Carlton 15, 10, 100. But the margin really doesn't do justice to the evenness of this contest.
A couple of late goals, but Pendlebury, 2 goal assists this quarter and a goal for himself, 7 disposals. Carazzo had him pretty much all day, but when it was needed, he's been able to stand up.
Class comes to the top, doesn't it? And just the one thing about that Pendlebury, this bloke, he wants to be the captain of this club. He will be the next Collingwood captain, no doubt about that.
How they've done it. They trail by 10 points at three-quarter time, and really Carlton looked the better team. They've kicked 7 the pies in the last quarter. What a win. They get another clearance off the deck. Lynch, a hero for Collingwood today. 20-metre kick met by Blair. Got it off to McCaffer. They're going wide again. Cloak and Jamison, what a battle it's been. Goal sack at their feet, picks it up.
Boy.
Handball to Sinclair. His kick goes straight up in the air. But Collingwood have got it 20 metres out from their goal. Lucas with the fly to the ball. Takes the mark. He moves it sideways. They've given it their best shot, Carlton. But they will finish just short.
Listen to this raw tone.
It has been the most wonderful win today. And it is Collingwood winning today.
The very best of one of the greatest rivalries in Australian sport, Collingwood and Carlton. For 3 quarters the Blues seemed to have the edge, but in the last the Magpies found something extra. As Tony Leonard said, they kicked 7 goals to 3 and turned a 10-point deficit into a glorious 17-point win. They've won their first 2. The Blues, under their new coach, remain winless after their first 2.
Good old Collingwood forever, they know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
A wonderful game in front of a magnificent crowd of 84,247. And while Carlton fans will leave disappointed, I think everyone leaves here today exhilarated by the contest they've seen. The best of sport, this. And Collingwood have prevailed. They're a good side. They're a bit better than Carlton at the moment. The Blues have this tough draw, have some early season injury issues, and they have some problems because the ice-breaking win just might be a little way away yet.
17-point win to Collingwood. Geelong in a thriller at Etihad earlier today by 4 points. Seb will confirm the half-time score, and we're just going to lavish praise on a young man who's 20 years old, Jamie Elliott, in a game that people remember near enough for his entire career, which looks to be a glorious one at his feet.
The Hawks have a 26-point lead at the half over the Eagles. Tone 11-2, 68 to the Eagles, 6-6-42. But while we're on Jamie Elliott, broke his personal records today. His numbers today, 20 disposals, which is just too shy of his best ever game. 3 inside 50, 6 contested possessions, 3 tackles, but he kicked 5 goals, which is his greatest ever performance in front of goal. Took 5 marks inside 50, his greatest ever result in that area, and also equalled his best ever kicks and marks. It was a terrific individual performance from him.
Let's kick into after the game for Sheen Panel Services and for Karsha, German Technology and Engineering. Speaking of Jamie Elliott Matthews, what a stage to do at 85,000 people, and we'll be speaking to the young Collingwood star of the day very, very shortly.
And just had a heap of composure too. That goal that he kicked on the angle down here, which probably just about sealed the game for them, was just showed that he liked the moment. He enjoyed it, he seized it and drilled the goal. But just a smart player too. He summed up things beautifully, and he can do it all. He's got pace, he can mark, he's got good skills and composure as well. So Bucks will be wrapped with his performance today.
It was wonderful. I suppose the question has to be asked before we head down to the Collingwood room and we'll hear the song with great gusto. Tony, it was tight, but we always thought that Carlton had the better run and the more dangerous. How in the finish did they do it?
You know what it is? It's senior players, and there's Carlton players who haven't been there enough over the last 3 or 4 years where Collingwood have. I thought Quinton Lynch was magnificent today. To be asked to do what Darren Jolly, couldn't do after quarter time not even halfway during the first quarter. That was a massive effort.
His last quarter too.
I just think that when you talk Pendlebury, Swan lifted in the last quarter. He was pretty quiet. Pendlebury got his best. I'm wrapped in Blair, Elliott, Dwyer, Sinclair, younger players too. Like Blair's still young in football terms, but the small forwards got him across the line.
Dr. Peter Larkins in the victorious Collingwood rooms.
And Nathan Buckley just giving me some advice on where I've got to stand, but I said I've got to do the song, Bucks. There is a little zone where they keep the media off to the side, but the players are just coming in, so I'm just going to go across to the song circle with them, Tone, and then we'll get Jamie Elliott. So Buck's pretty happy. He's greeting some of the players as they come through individually, and you can hear the support in the background from the board members and the support staff. So this was a big one. They look forward to this one, and obviously a good result, 17 points at the end, and they're just about to go. Here they go, Tony. Good voices. Bucks was singing the top of his voice, as was Eddie, and people in the background there, Tony. So great support and a very happy team, as you'd expect.
17-15, 117. Carlton 15-10, 100. A young star announced himself today. Jamie Elliott again said for Europe Car his afternoon please.
Tony had the 20 disposals. He had 3 inside 50s, 6 contested possessions, 12 uncontested possessions. But where he really made it count was inside the forward 50, where he took 5 marks inside forward 50, his best performance ever, and kicked 5 goals. One would have been 6, but for the performance he'd put in over 4 quarters, he couldn't quite get that last one there.
He was wonderful. Matthew Richardson and Tony Shaw summing up Collingwood's fantastic 17-point.
And Tone, we'll hold it here for 10 minutes or so, and then we are heading for Perth. So 3AW football in round 2, not done with for a little while yet. Shorey and Richo, tell us the story.
Well, Tim, it was just a great game. I think if you look over the minutes of domination of a team, we thought Carlton maybe could have won this game, but you've got to play the 120 minutes, and they just didn't do it right to the end. The clearance work was really telling in that last quarter. A couple of one-on-ones. Marty Clark, who's not renowned for one-on-one stuff, did it on the wing. Tyson Goldsack beat Walker on the half-forward flank with about 7 minutes to go.
Cloak's effort
when he just dove at the ball and got the handball forward. They're the things that get you across the line. Look, I think Carlton will go out of this game with a hell of a lot. They won't like losing to the arch rivals, but you saw a lot of good signs for them. A couple of little issues, maybe key defenders, I reckon, Richo, and maybe the backup. Hampson comes in and backs up Cruiser, so Betts and Cruiser back in the group makes them competitive.
The other move that I thought was telling was at the start of that last quarter, Collingwood started with 7 defenders, had a loose man for probably the first 10 minutes. Mick then evened it up and made it 1-on-1 again. It was 7v5 forwards, but for that 10 minutes where they had the loose player, I just thought they got good use out of that, and they got a bit of momentum going, and by that stage they'd hit the front, and I reckon that was a pretty telling move.
You've got to roll the dice sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
And I don't mind Mick doing that at that stage. It probably opens you up at the other end, but so these games just keep bringing things up. I thought Mark Murphy was sensational. I thought he led from the front as the captain. Garlitt was all
died
right.
Out of it in
died
the second
out
half.
right near, more in the last quarter when they think they needed Yarran and Garlitt, but they did their job.
They couldn't get it down there for them.
You're right.
And they had that loose man where they couldn't find the space that they had previously. So that was a good move by Bucks, that loose man.
I'll tell you who's a player, the people, you sort of just slips in and out, but his pure class is Steele side bottom. He gets under the guard week in, week out, but he is a classy act Steele side bottom. What's he had? 25, 13 handball received, but it's and contested possessions 11, so he had plenty of it.
He's sort of a complete player still,
No
side
doubt.
bottom. He's got good endurance, he's got good skills, he works hard, he can kick a goal, he can take a mark. He's just an absolute beauty.
Pure steel.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Breaking the hearts of Rip Van Winkle.
And it's good signs for Collingwood, isn't it? There's no Thomas. Obviously, he's not out there. They're also missing beams. Two of their A-grade talents.
Didac Vasola.
Pendlebury and Swan didn't have huge games, yet they've still been able to get the job done. So a lot of upside in Collingwood as well.
We'll be getting the Vic Super votes. Best afield, 3-2-1. Vic Super, the super fund for all Victorians, going to the player of the year. Just on Steele side bottom. I thought his last quarter was sensational. Can you, for Europe Card, just break those stats down, Seb? Because he just looked to be the one, of all the experienced bloke, he looked the one that was just driving as much as anyone, if not more.
Yeah, well, he kicked a goal. He had 9 disposals, 4 contested possessions, 1 clearance, and of those 9 disposals, 4 of them led to a Collingwood score. He had the second most amount of disposals for the Pies in that final quarter. Quinton Lynch putting in a strong last quarter with 10 disposals. Overall, though, 25 disposals for Steele side bottom. The second most of any Collingwood player out there today.
Seb, as one of the unconverted in this commentary box, a young man hungry for the game. You follow
Very
the
much
Bombers,
so.
but these are 2 of the great clubs. Give us a view of the occasion.
It was terrific. I mean, even as in a broadcasting position, it kicks up an extra notch when the MCG has 85,000 plus inside it, and the Collingwood Army, they can make noise, as can Blues supporters. A beautiful day, a Sunday afternoon in Melbourne at the home of football, and 2 of the Big 4 clubs going to a game that went right down to the wire, except for a couple of goals in the final minutes for the Pies that pushed it over the limit. And I know I'm waffling on here, Tim, but it was terrific.
How good if you're a young Carlton player, your first 2 games of the year, you've played in front of 80,000 people both times. It's just great, isn't it?
How good it'd be for a young Carlton player when you're 0-2.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing...
It's
true. It's true.
With Geelong next week, West Coast in Perth the week after that, and Adelaide the week after that over here.
That's
For all
next 3.
for all of their nobility and hearts the size of many of 22 far laps, seriously, they have nothing to show for 2 fine efforts, in the same way North Melbourne has nothing to show from 2 fine efforts. Lee Matthews said it'd be a wonderful afternoon of Sunday football. He's right so far, because it was Geelong by 4 points. Bartel basically the last kick of the game, getting Geelong over the line. Here it just ebbed and flowed. Carlton looked to just have it at 3-quarter time. 7-goal quarter to Collingwood, 17-15, 1-17, defeating Carlton 15-10, 100. And we have seen Hawthorn jump out to a big lead, but that has been pegged back at half-time to around, it was about 6.5 goals, was it not, Seb?
Yeah, 26 points.
And it's now back to 4.5 goals at half-time.
At half-time, yeah, 11-2-68, the Hawks to the Eagles, 6-6-42. Both Cyril and Buddy having an impact.
After the game for Sheen Panel Service, collision repairs called Sheen Panel Service first, and Karsha, German Technology and Engineering. While we wait for Jamie Elliott, and we'll be staying here to hear from the young man who's just had a day to remember for the rest of his football life, why don't we start giving some of the numbers out for Europe Car, where the game was won for Collingwood in the finish.
Contested possession, Tone, they won that plus 8, 154 to 146 over 4 quarters. They won the inside 50 count, 64 to 55, which was an area they were losing early, and it was in the last quarter where they really ran over the top with 20 inside 50s to 14. Cruiser tried hard in the ruck all day, 34 hit-outs, 8 to advantage, which was a strong performance from him. Carlton actually won the clearances, and I guess a lot of that credit has to go to Matthew Cruiser, who, though the Pies ruck zone was somewhat depleted when Jolly went down, he still did his job and did a large part of the ruck duels. In terms of the big ball winners, Mark Murphy was terrific as the skipper. 26 disposals for the Blues, 8 inside 50, 17 contested possessions, so he was getting in there and getting his hands dirty. Perhaps his kicking efficiency left a bit to be desired, though. He had 16 kicks and was kicking at just a 31% efficiency, probably because a lot of those kicks are taken under pressure when you play that type of position. Chris Judd, 25 disposals, 4 inside 50, 16 contested possessions. Garlitt, a terrific game from him, stepping up in the absence of Eddie Betts to have 20 disposals, 3 goals, 9 inside 50, 7 contested possessions. And we should mention that 6 disposals of his 20 came in the last quarter, so he didn't quite go missing. 3 inside 50s as well, and was involved in 2 of Carlton's 12 scores for the quarter. Brock McLean had an impact too after coming on as the sub with 9 disposals. But the victors and the spoils, and they're all in black and white today. Dane Swan gets under the radar a little bit. We didn't feel like he was having the type of prolific game he generally would. That's because he's averaged over 30 disposals for the past 4 years. Today he had 26, 4 inside 57 contested possessions, 6 rebound 50s though, so he was moving them out of the back half from time to time. Still side bottom we've touched on. Heath Shaw went forward with some impact, ended up with a goal, but 3 behinds, so perhaps should have converted a few more chances there. 1 unlucky to hit the post. 3 inside 50s for him. Quinton Lynch in his second outing for the Pies, solid, 24 disposals, 13 contested possessions. Pendlebury, all class, 2 goals, including that one in the final moments that really, to use an awful cliche, put the icing on the cake, put the sauce on the sausage roll, whatever you'd like to use. He was very good in parts there. 23 disposals and 12 contested possessions. Few Blues particularly...
The coconut on the Lamington.
Oh, I think that's even better.
Thank you, that's good.
The chocolate sauce on the sundae.
Kiko.
We don't mind that. Bit of maple syrup on the pancake parlour pancakes would show.
Very good.
Boots, just the 3 disposals today, so you'd probably want to see... He's a young player, sure, but not a huge day considering he survived the substitution and played 4 quarters. Marty Clark with 22 was good, and you've got to mention Dwyer too. I think we were all impressed with the day he had. 23 disposals, 5 inside 50s, 14 contested possessions, and he snuck in a goal as well. And had a terrific run down the southern side wing, Richo, where he took 4 running bounces and pumped it inside 50.
And we had the pancake parlour prediction before the game, Dane Swan's possessions. One gentleman said 27. I think he might be the man.
He's off to have a bit of Lamington.
Yeah,
and
26, wasn't he?
Indeed. I was thinking 38, so Dane Swan, very, very good there, Tone. And we've just had a text from someone listening to us, Tone, who says hello to you. They are in Hainan, China. So sends a ni-hao to Tony Leonard.
And I had a text...
That's a long way for the KFC Twitter to come to us, but I'm very pleased.
I think there's a local KFC store in Hainan.
There's
so
one everywhere.
There's a gentleman text me as well. He's listening in a bar in San Francisco. So we're loud and clear over there as well.
And Richo, I'm just becoming a little disturbed by the return of the Richmond arrogance. Tony Greenberg, still in communications at Richmond, has tweeted, Blues lack a Luke McGuan.
I don't. That's not the real Tony Greenberg.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Tony
it's someone
Greenberg?
pretending to be Tony Greenberg.
Rookie of the week for the Australian Institute of Fitness, and they will get Jamie Elliott throughout the week. There's no better game fitting the criteria. First and largest training provider for personal trainers. Get a career as a personal trainer. And the Australian Institute of Fitness will do that, and that's what they'll make sure that Jamie Elliott has in around 6 months' time at the Australian Institute of Fitness. Well, waiting for Jamie Elliott, let's take some votes. And the votes today for Vic Super, the 3, 2 and 1. Who's doing the honours there? The Super Fund for all Victorians?
Yeah, I've got the honour today, and it's
honourable mentions.
It is different though. It is different. Yes, mentions. Mark Murphy I thought was great, and I could have snuck into a vote. Judd I thought was all right. Died and out at different times. I thought Carazzo's job on Pendlebury was pretty good, except for the last 15 minutes. Jamison on Cloak, could have but didn't get a vote. And then you go the other side. I thought Heath Shaw was good. Dane Swan accumulated again. Still side bottom. He deserves votes, but he just gets under the guard too much. And I thought the big Q stick was fantastic under enormous pressure. Also, I throw Cruiser in there. They nearly cancelled each other out. But one vote, and this is amazing. Last week I gave votes to 2 defenders, Harry Taylor and Tom Lonigan. Today, 1 vote goes to Sam Dwyer. 23 possessions. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. He had 10 score involvements, and I think he kept them alive with his creativity, as Garlitt and also Yaron did at the other end. I gave 2 votes to Jeffrey Garlitt, because I think without Jeff Garlitt, he's had 10 score involvements, 3 score assists, 3 goals, 1. I think they wouldn't have got they got to a point where they could have won the game, and it was nearly off his back, and he died out a bit because he was probably buggered at the end. And of course, that player who hopefully we're going to interview, Jamie Elliott, as good a game as I've seen. Everybody's told us about this bloke's talent. I said before the game, he wants to jump on heads. He's a bit like Daisy Thomas. They've taken a bit out of his game to tell him not to do that, but I reckon let him go. He's got jump on heads. 5 goals, 1, just a great return. He created space, and he was playing out of the goal square where they couldn't get a marking option up there. So 3 small forwards
which I've never done before in my life, I don't think. And no midfielders, which is great.
So those votes, Tone, 3 to Jamie Elliott.
2 to Jeff Garlitt and 1 to Sammy Dwyer.
We were talking great debuts last week, Shorey.
Yes.
This wasn't a debut, but it was a little Ian McCorrist-like. Did he kick 5 or 6 on debut?
I thought it was 7.
7. Ricky Barham, I think.
5 at Princess Park.
Against Carlton, yep.
On debut, Ricky Barham, did he? 5.
I'm pretty sure it was.
The Epworth emergency,
If it
and
wasn't, we'll make it up.
pretty serious injury today, the Epworth emergency, the best of emergency care 24/7. That's where all the AFL footballers go to. Doc, are you still receiving me in the Collingwood rooms?
I am, Tone. The meeting's still going on, and you mentioned Jamie Elliott. We may not get him. He's actually in the emergency room with the Collingwood doctors. He literally ran himself into the ground in that game. We know he was a star, but he was actually nauseated and vomiting at the end of the match on the ground. So he didn't even get into the warm down. The players are in a meeting at the present time. So Jamie Elliott quite unwell. But your nephew, Shorey, even though you said he was only good today, we might be getting your nephew on. Darren Jolly, the story of the day from Epworth point of view, early in the game, I think it was 3 minutes in the first quarter even, Tony was off the ground, came through the interchange, quite distressed with his breathing, got a heavy hit into the left side of his chest, some rib damage there, possibly a little bit of a lung. He went back on and they thought he was going to be all right, but too sore. He was subbed out, went to Epworth for emergency scans. No detail has come through at this stage, but the concern would be very, very sore in the rib area for Darren Jolly, which could result in a couple of weeks. And if there is any lung damage, that adds a few weeks more to that. So we'll wait and see how things go. The meeting is just finishing, Tone, and Jamie Elliott is up and walking, but he's going straight back to the medical room. So whilst we thought we were going to get him, we expect we'll get someone else soon.
Yeah, well, I'll just stay with you for the moment. Near enough a clean bill of health for Carlton, although Jamison took a knock, Cruiser took a knock. Everything okay there?
Yeah, well, I think there was a few concerns that had the players off the ground. I mean, both of them were down the race at one stage. Jamison with a right hip cork, and it probably limited him the rest of the game, and they did monitor him, and he was certainly of interest to the medical staff. Matty Cruiser also was down the race at three-quarter time, but did run around pretty well, so I don't think any major concern with Cruiser, and good to see Sam Rowe in his first game coming back after a combination of surgery and chemotherapy for a major concern. But I think Carlton will be right to have everyone going next week. They've still got a few that have got to come back. Hampson probably a week or two away, and Betts a couple more. Heath Shaw is approaching me as we speak, guys. Do we want to keep rolling with Heater?
If you could keep going, Pete.
I will keep going, Tone, while Heater gets himself organised. He's got the banana, he's got the ice for his drink, and Heater, your uncle's up there. He said you played a good game, but this was a ripper game. I mean, nearly 85,000 MCG up against, truly one of the old foes, and you better dash yourself. The cramp caught up with you a bit, but just had the meeting. What did Bucks have to say?
He was happy we grinded out pretty much. 4 quarters, we thought through the middle of the game they got on top of us a little bit, but we stayed with them. And that last quarter, we were very confident, even though we were down a little bit going into that last quarter, that we could run over the top of them. And he was a pretty happy camper, Bucks.
Heath, what about yourself first with cramping? Do you think what happened last week with a bit of food poisoning took a bit out of you this week?
Yeah, the oysters on Good Friday. Bit of sewerage in the oysters is not good for you.
Who allowed you to have oysters on Good Friday? Who allowed that to happen?
You can't have meat on Good Friday, so I had a few oysters, and it didn't sit too well with me.
They're the Tassie ones, are they, Heath? That got about 500 people, I think, both in Tassie and Victoria.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a phone call. Maybe some free oysters, but
did it get to you over the week too? Did you feel it? Or?
Yeah, I didn't train until Thursday, and I felt pretty flat, especially in that third quarter after half time, but cramped up and thought I was gone for all money, and then sort of just grinded it out. And as you could tell by my kicking in the last quarter, I wasn't too good, but we got the win. That's all that matters.
What about Sammy Dwyer? It was just unbelievable the way we know about Jamie Elliott to a point, but Sammy Dwyer, this kid looks like he's ready-made, and his creativity is unbelievable.
Yeah, he goes under the radar, Sammy. He's a natural ball winner. He showed that over in Port Melbourne for the sort of last couple of years, and him in and at the contest, especially over the NAB Cup series. That's why he got a game round 1 and round 2, and he's very underrated. And as you said, his polish going forward and his creativity helps us out massively, and kick a couple of goals as well always helps.
Hey, Shaw, at the start of that last quarter, you rolled a 7th defender around, had a loose man for the first part of the quarter, and it really seemed to help you gain control of the match early in that last quarter.
Yeah, I suppose we just wanted to settle a little bit, and with Joel's going down and Lynchy in the ruck, and Cruiser was dominating. He was getting some big hits forward. We thought we'll just put someone there just in case, and it happened to be me. Get a few cheap kicks back there, but just to sort of settle it down and make sure at that sort of centre bounce that they didn't get it forward and get that advantage. So it seemed to work, and in the end we got the win, and we're all pretty happy, and the rooms are packed, of course.
It was a good result. Big Q-tip. He had to go up against it when Jolly went down early, and thought he was pretty good today.
Yeah, he's a monster, Q. His work rate, he's one of the fittest guys going around for his size, and he's very mobile. And Joel's had a crack at sort of the start of the second quarter, see if he could go, and he was struggling. So it was thrown to Q and a little bit of Maxi to pinch hit and Goldie up forward, just to pull that weight. And he'll go under the radar, sort of Q, the job that he did, but to go up against a ruckman like Cruiser and do the things he did all day was amazing.
There was a lot of passion at the end. I guess there always is in a big game, Heath, but you just got the feeling as an observer that all the build-up, Mick being at in the eye of the storm, was a factor in how everyone felt about the game. Is that reality, or is it our imagination?
No, it was definitely on in that last quarter. We were pretty excited, a few goals getting through. I actually bumped into Mick as I was walking in. He was walking out of Carlton change rooms, and I think everyone was just happy to get this game over and done with. We got the 4 points. We're very happy about that, but the build-up was massive. The game was a ripper. On our side, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Congratulations. It was a magnificent spectacle, and well won with a 7-goal last quarter.
Thanks, guys.
Heath Shaw down in the Collingwood rooms. The Magpies have prevailed over the arch enemy, 17-15, 117 to Carlton, 15-10, 100. The crowd was 84,247, and the day was nothing short of a triumph. Rain in 2 or 3 fairly serious bursts and all. Aussie football at its absolute best, and what a weekend it's been. Geelong beat North Melbourne, came from nearly 6 goals down today, their second mighty comeback of the season so far. West Coast have got to try and do that if they're going to beat Hawthorn over in Perth. What's the latest, Seb, before we cross over to Patterson Stadium?
They've got a bit of work to do, Tim. Grant Birchall goal. The Hawks lead it by 33 points, 87-54, with 13 to play in the third term.
Good on you, mate. Well done, everybody, over a terrific weekend of 3AW football, and we'll be back on Friday night with more of the same. In fact, we'll be in Perth for the Dockers and the Bombers, and what a test that is of two teams which really look as though they are on the up in 2013. Saturday we'll be here as Melbourne try and redeem themselves against West Coast. Make sure you're with us. We look forward to the pleasure of your company. We bid you farewell from Melbourne. We're off to our 6PR colleagues in Perth to bring us to second half action as the Eagles pursue the Hawks.